G'day, citizens. Welcome to the Inforunners. Got my lights on. That's really unprofessional of me. How you doing? Right, Algared. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm getting over the evils of viral flus or other things. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're both sitting here waiting, so we thought we'd start a little bit early, and that way, when Pete shows up, we can say he was late. So why not?
Yeah.
And we saw a few people.
We're never late. We're always turn up exactly when we intend to.
I believe the line is precisely when we mean to. If you're referring to Gandalf. So yeah,
I was doing it. I was channeling Gandalf, but not deliberately doing an exact quote.
But I think we'll hold off on talking about anything really in detail until, because most people are going to turn up, you know,
our
usual
expecting us
time.
to be starting in 8:15. Yeah. Right.
And we're currently at 7:48, so we're a little bit early. Yeah, there's some interesting things to go over. The sneak peek is rather interesting after the show we did last week. We thought it looked different. We weren't sure, but I think we can safely confirm now. I wonder if that pushed them at all to release that. I don't reckon we did, but
no.
We'll go over that one.
I've got to correct socially confused. I didn't give you the flu. Execute passed it on to me. It's Execute's fault. It's always Execute's fault. You should know that.
So Algared gave you the flu, right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I gave him the flu and you gave me the flu. So you know.
Oh, yeah. Artana, thank you for the subscription with the Prime on Twitch. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Always appreciated.
So yeah, we also got a really cool clear image of the pitbull that we're going to go over as well. More questions and answers as usual. Like they show you see something else and it makes it even harder. But we'll go over that one as well because that's
sorry. And more comments about us being early. No, it's the fact we're sick. We're clearly sick at the moment.
And I'll be honest, me and I could have been sitting here talking for an hour.
True,
I couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep, and we're just like, we start at 7.
No.
No.
No, it wasn't. I couldn't sleep. I was in the process of getting up. And
well, yeah, you had
routines I do, so I can actually function.
But I like I was tossing and turning at 5:30, and I was just like, I'm not getting back to sleep like this. I wonder when Algared's going to get on. And I get up and I just see messages from people and I answered all my messages. And then Algared was there and I called him and said, hey, he is in so I can talk to you.
I'm talking to you and you're not responding. Yeah, because I'm setting up.
Yeah. Well, he's not used to me being up.
I thought if we were late, it's going to be his fault if I wasn't ready.
Well, I normally get, my alarm goes off 20 minutes before. I get out of bed, I jump, get my clothes on, and I just go. I hit the ground running. I'm one of those people. But yeah, not today. I just tossed and turned. So. Anyway,
Jagged Jack, we are in Australia, on the East Coast. So
we're in the same
I'm in
time
Sydney,
zone.
He's in Tassie, and it's almost 8 o'clock.
You're the teacher. What are we on different latitudes or longitudes?
We are on different latitude. Latitude is flatitude. Longitude is.
Yeah, I have no clue. My mom's a geography teacher, and I never remember that one. But yeah, all right. The bot is almost up and running. Give me a second. Trying to get that done.
There are also Kraken images in the new jump point.
Yes, I've got that open and ready to go. Yeah, see, you can see. But we will go over this as well. Got a few things queued up to go through, as you can see.
Yeah. No, I do like my my leisurely read of a jump point. I've always enjoyed those. I usually skip the some of the design stuff and go to the stories and the lore stuff first. That's usually my go-to. But when they're light on the lore, I go, boring episode, boring edition. But yeah,
so the opposite of everyone else. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it's completely opposite of everyone else. And yes, no doubt we will be dragging Grim in when he rocks up at some point. Because
Grim's on the road. He did say he would try and stop in, but apparently he's traveling. I don't know where he's traveling to.
Yeah.
But he's going to. But he did say he'd be listening in, so he's probably listening right now. So if you're listening, Grim, see you. All right. We've got a couple of questions coming in now, so they will go into the list, and we will get into those a little later on. But we are kind of twiddling our thumbs a little bit now, just waiting for a few more people to come in, and then we'll get started. But no, what was your kind of thoughts on the trailer, the Defense Con trailer. It was very Drake, to say the least.
Oh, very Drake. I had a feeling that the CEO of Drake is drifting back into the old Drake meta. Although given it was a public thing, I could see him just playing up to that. Yeah, so it felt very, we're pirates, we do the bad things rather than.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of posters around. One that literally just says "fuck yeah, Drake," but just blatant, yeah, like, so they don't give a shit.
But my key question really comes down to what's going on. What are they doing behind the scenes in the lore? What's their thought process in terms of moving Invictus and Fleet Week, and almost cancelling it because Drake say, hey, well, if the UE is not going to do it, we'll do it. And why is the Navy all going back to Sol? Now, clearly it's Squadron 42 related in my mind. That's where my mind goes. But what is the lore
reason
that's going on with that?
Yeah. Real quick, someone said we've hit 2.6k followers on Twitch. We don't really push Twitch too much, do we? But we also hit 18k subs this week on YouTube.
Yes, that's our exclusive first look.
Yeah.
18k, we've made it. Finally, it felt like forever.
Yeah, well, it's taken a while.
Again, we don't really. The last 2 years, we kind of go.
We don't,
up and then drip.
But we don't really push subs and that too much. We do it right at the end of the video. We don't really. I can't imagine too many, like, they'd hear me start to do the sub spiel thing and they'd just like turn off. They wouldn't even watch it. So yeah, they're kind of here. We've done that before too, and then the show's gone for another 5 minutes. You know, like that's happened a few times. So
if someone will ask something in chat as we're leaving, or one of us will remember something.
Yeah. So yeah, but so I've tried to do it at the start, but it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. No, it feels a bit commercial, and we're not that really.
And we've never really tried to. Yes, we want the channel to grow. Yes, it makes us feel, gives us the warm fuzzies when we see those likes and subscribes and whatever stuff. But it's never really been the thing we're doing. Rage 960 or 9608 or 960 Baker, age 1. Thank you for those subs, and he's given a whole pile of subs out.
Oz Veteran, Daz69, Sangroper, Drac4EA, and Bastion. Yeah, make sure you say thank you to Rage 9608, aka Rage 1. And I believe, Rage. You're wrong. I think I know Rage one from somewhere, but I can't remember where. I talk to too many people. I can't even remember the people. Like I'll be talking to my girlfriend. It's really annoyed because I forget something. Like, really, how many people I talk to a day? Like, my mum is the worst one to forget. Like, she'll tell me something and I forget. I'm just like, I'm never gonna remember that. Why are you telling me? You know.
I love the question about something and say, I don't know. I don't have the answer for that yet.
Yeah.
So I'll ask the question again, and I don't know. I still don't. I haven't had a chance to gather that information.
Oh my god! Someone gave Sangroper,
and eventually you get in trouble because
Sangroper got a subscription, so now he's using all my angry face emotes. Well, that's not going to help me at all. Anyway.
No.
Well, wait till he says the one of you. There's an egghead one where you bounce in and go, ooh. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of animated ones I did. Anyway.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, waiting a couple more minutes for people to come in, then we're going to get started. I'm starting to feel that this starting early thing is really awkward. I feel like I'm just like filling the room, waiting for time to fill up. So yeah. All right.
Well, I just figure we do the usual, how you going, the usual triple chat.
Well, the PTU's been rather buggy this week. Have you had a chance to get in? It's been quite a crash fest.
I did get into the avocado and the PTU one. Oh, yes, a little bouncy head. Very nice.
Yeah. I thought that was appropriate.
Thanks, Sangroper. Yeah, thanks, Sangroper. So yeah, I did get a chance to.
Oh no, there's more subs. Oz Veteran gifted to Brielle, Stacks Gideon, Meth74, Daboomy, and Fluffy Ollie. Oh, thank you for the gift of subs. Never
Yep. And we've now got a level 2 hype train going apparently.
Yep.
So awesome. Thank you guys.
Yep. They like driving our attention over that way.
Yep. So I did see certain things that were in the PTU and Avocado, but because it was that,
I've been having crashes to desktop. I haven't had crashes to desktop in a really long time.
No.
Again, they kind of got like 2 weeks to fix it, but yeah, it's one of the worst patches I've seen in a while. I heard a lot of people complained about the last one, but I didn't have any problems. But this one, yeah, it's been pretty bad.
It was pretty unstable. So whether that was just because of the hype of certain things being spawned and crashing and
there was some javelin spawning going on there for a while for those that were able to get in. I know a lot of people were excited to see it, but I'm going to be honest, Algared, like I wasn't too interested to see it because we've seen it so many times now. Like they had it at the Invictuses where you could walk around it, and
we've defended it in Xeno thread.
Yeah. So
we've had it blow things up in Xeno thread.
It's going to be more of a draw for new people. Like, and I've always found these sales events are becoming more and more tailored to new people. Actually, that is something we can talk about. We are almost up to time anyway. But something I didn't talk about was Star Citizen funding track. Have you seen this at all?
No, I haven't, but I'm assuming it's already tell
me, yeah, you reckon we're ahead or behind before I scroll down?
I reckon we're ahead. I reckon we're probably
we're fucking smashing
I reckon
it.
We're halfway up.
We're fucking smashing it. It is the biggest year on record now. It's even bigger than COVID, which was 2022, peak COVID. So yeah, we're smashing it. And when Squadron hits,
we're gonna smash it again.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's crazy. Like 155 mil. I was actually surprised we got that high last year, especially because I was considering another ship in December and nothing came out. So that's kind of look at how big December is, and consider nothing came out. That's kind of nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. No, November. November's almost. Struck October almost eclipsed all previous funding.
But it's also
at this rate.
I think it's got a lot to do with that ship every 2 weeks as well. Other than this weekend, we were meant to get something last weekend that we didn't. And we thought it might be the Mustang, but it turns out it was a nothing. And obviously, whatever those ships are, they're going to roll over into Invictus or future sales.
So
yeah.
Yep, indeed.
So yeah, I don't look at this so much as like, okay, we're making heaps of money. I kind of look at it as, well, our community is growing. Like,
Oh, look, I think that you've got to look at this in comparison to the accounts. Now, granted, you look at the total accounts. Yeah. Granted, there's probably 4 or 5 per person, but it's still 5 million, 6 million odd accounts or something like that. I'd have to go have a look.
All right, I'm getting verbally abused by chat. We need to go have a look at this sneak peek. So let's do that. Right. So me and Algared did theorize during our video during the week in our Hopium edition that there was a variant of the M50. If you look at the ships that are kind of left to do variants of, it would either be an 85X or an M50. I think you and I would kind of agree on that. And I think if it was one of those two, you and I are kind of on the same page that it's probably an M50 variant, unless this is a completely new ship.
Yeah. So, completely new ship would be wanted 200i, but do we really need?
Unless it's like a 75D or, do you know what I mean? So it could be that as well. It could be just a number and a letter. It doesn't technically need to be a 200i. It could be a number and a letter. And to be honest with you, I probably lean a bit more towards the number and a letter than a 200i. I think a 200i, I would save that for something bigger and grander.
Well, you remember in the video when we were looking at it, I think you thought there was possibly a P or an F.
Well, I thought it was at least 3 letters long. because you had it almost like M50 and then a letter at the end, or something like that. So it was like number, letter. It was essentially 3 bigs and a small. Is how I describe it. And I thought you saw the same, but if you didn't, that's cool.
But I thought on one of them we were questioning whether it was a P rather than an A or an F or something like that. And if this was a new ship, one with an interior, which this seems to have, could be an explorer. An exploration could tie in with military as being a scout, long-range scout, so that could work. If looks could kill, though, which is the tagline that goes with this, if I recall correctly, it says fighter.
Well, the other thing is, like, do you look at the other way? Is it a 300i rework? Is it, you know, like what could it be? Like, there's so many things. Clearly, it's got an interior. Clearly, it's got carpet, a bed, and stuff like that. And I actually think if I sit here and look at the interior, the closest ship to this, for me personally, is the 300 series.
For me, I look at it and go 100 series, but 100 series, 300 series, they're basically the same in terms of what they've got inside them. They've got the bed, they've got a small kitchen, they've got small car, small, all of those things. The 300 series then had that. No, that's the Avenger. I was going to say it has a cargo area at the back.
Oh my God, Monster AV, I'm going to slap you. All right. No, he's insulting our intelligence. He's saying numbers go 1, 2, 3, not 1, 3. But the other part of this is, all right, so let's break this down. Since Monster Avery is treating us like we're stupid, we'll treat him like he's stupid. What is the need? Hang on. What is the need to have another ship that essentially is another series that would be almost identical to the 100 and 300? Like, we often talk about how close the 100 and 300 series are. Do you really see them putting another slot of ships in between those two that would just do more of the same? I don't really see it. Like, I think it's to put it frankly, it would be a clusterfuck.
I think clearly that Origin actually have an aversion to a number 2, because 2 in their culture clearly means you're poor, and so they've just avoided number 2. It's like 13. So that's why they don't have it. It's a bad omen. Who knows why they've done it? But I've always thought, I was always surprised when the 100 series came out, because we had the M50 and 85X. Thank you for that. Super chat, Spade 2010A.
I think that's 1,000 yen. I have no idea how much money that is.
No,
I'm going to assume it's a lot because it says 1,000. So yeah, we're rich.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and have caviar. We're going to have a barbecue. I don't know. We must be rich. 1,000 yen. I got no idea how much that is. Now, but thank you. I think it's Japanese. Is it Japanese? That little grip. He's got
that thing. It looks like Japanese. Yep.
That looks Japanese to me. I'm going to assume it's Japanese.
Yep.
Thank you for the.
Now, it's interestingly, because Xuni actually has the same question that you raised. Is this Origin's answer to the Wolf?
Well, that's something I brought up. But the other place my brain goes is, what is Origin missing? Right, and if you look at the gap, right, let's just say the 300 series, right, that's the biggest of the smalls. 400 series, there's clearly no medium.
Yeah, there's nothing in between.
Yeah, there's no Cutlass, Spirit, Freelancer size ship.
But we've got M50, 85X, 4 or 500s, 4
exactly.
or 5 300s, and they're all smashed into that.
That's more interesting. If you made, let's say the 200 series for some reason just leapfrogs the 300, right? And maybe it was made first or whatever. They make up bullshit story law reason, right? But the point I'm getting at is if you had a whatever the 15P, the 400i, a 35C, I can see all those in a medium variant. Now, what I'm trying to ascertain is, can we see here if this is big enough to get to medium? Now, I'll just show you what I see, right? And you feel free to tear me apart here. But this is either a shelf or a bed. See how, like, the black line, and you can kind of see the edge here of like a cabinet or whatever. There seems to be another compartment similar to that. Then a very small space here, and then whatever appears to be a door or cabinet area, right? So again, knowing the way that this ship is like very flat, you can kind of see it flat here. There's not many spaces the doors can go. So either it's got a funky door where the whole thing folds out, you walk through the chunk, or the doors directly at the back. Now, knowing the way Origin is and some of the doors they've been doing on their more, like the Aurora, some of the doors have been fairly funky, right? So my point being is, it could be a medium ship.
When you look at also when you look at the 100i, again, that's a fairly flat ship, and the door is on the side. It opens and slides to the side. I could possibly see a door just behind that black, just behind.
I've got to stop you for a second. FN 1980s, don't say anything that makes sense, bro. He says they should rename the 300i series down to the 200i and make room for something between the current 300. They're never going to do that. They make sense, bro. It can't make sense. It can't make sense. They won't do that. I agree with you 100%, but they will never do that. They like to call everything Liberator or pick Gladius or something like that. They use the same name again and again.
FN 1980. That's basically we've been saying that type of thing for ages. Like,
yeah, no,
I questioned why make the 100 series when we had the 85X and the M50 sitting.
It kind of comes back to legal reasons, because if you change the name, it's only going to take one person to sue them. That's basically why. I totally agree with you. I think there should be a massive retcon. They should fix all the stupid shit they've ever done. But yeah, I don't know. My hope, right, is this is more in the medium league than in say it's a 200i series. I would hope that is a more medium-sized ship than a. It's too tight down there. It's just too much going on down there. That's like you said. You've always said that the 85X and the M50 should have been reworked to be a part of the 100 series, and I agree.
And when you look at it, like for ages, what's the M for? And it dawned on me the other day. It's been staring me in the face for ages. The 85X and the M50 were designed as competitors for Origin's specific racing ship for the Murray Cup. The M is Murray Cup. The 50 is their standard designation for a racer, the M50R.
Yep.
So if you put that into a 100 series, then what you're missing is a 125, the 25A, the C, the P.
That's a good point.
And the 85X was your touring version of the same ship. So it just.
Peak FS has got a good one there. He says Generalist starter. So could this be like a medium kind of clipper for a solo? And it's high tech instead of low tech like the Drake. That still fits. Could one of those like little what I said was like a bed like area, could that be a fabricated table? And it would work. It really would. It would put it in the medium league. Wouldn't say no to that. That's the most common sense thing I think I've seen chat do all day. Yeah.
You based on the saying they had, the catch line, you made the comment before we started that this is basically a James Bond vehicle.
That's what it feels a bit like, doesn't? Well, would they say, what was the tagline? Hang on, I'll open it again. In the email, it said "looks can kill," and just the way it's worded, it's very James Bondish, is it not?
Yeah, and James Bond, you've got the. I think I'm going to agree. I originally saw that black line as the door, because that's in the position where the doors are on Origin ships. But I agree. I think it's a bed or a shelf. And behind that, you've got something else. You've got a storage container or something at the back.
Well, you and I kind of have been expecting clipper variants, and one of those, because it looks like a slave too, would clearly be a bounty hunting variant. Could they do the same thing with this, where they have a high-end bounty hunting ship and the first one that comes is a generalist or something like that? That's just a potential throw out there as well. And again, as well as I do, the medium ships are the ones that have had the most variation in the game, because they're probably going to be the most popular ships in the game. I really hope it's a medium, because that works, because any other place right now is kind of shockers.
Well, the red shag pile at the back there, or what looks like red shag pile, it just reminds me.
It does look like shag pile.
It really does. It's not James Bond. It's Powers.
Oh, Austin Powers. Yes, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Austin. It's Austin Powers. Channeling Austin Powers, not James Bond.
I so want to see you do a dress up cosplay
Yeah,
of Austin
baby.
Powers now, but without the wig, like just completely bald, like an old man Austin Powers. I reckon that'd be great. Yeah, baby. I reckon you could do that really well. That'd be funny.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
My mojo is yeah.
First time chatter, Fluffy Ollie says thank you to Oz Veteran for his sub. But yeah, all right. So we're getting some few people. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of put that back to you, chat. I didn't want to do a little giveaway today, Algared, just for the stream. We're not going to do this on a video. It's just going to be for the stream. I will show you. There's a package they gave me here a while back. Let me just open it real quick. And it's an Atlas package. So it's just an Atlas, and I think it came out for the Titans of Industry or something like that. Where is it? I can find it in amongst all this shit. I got it set to the wrong thing. I do have it set to. Bear with me. Oh wait, this might be it here. Yeah, that's it. There. It was for Chinese New Year, Year of the Rat. So we've got an ATLS. We've got 2 skins, copy of Star Citizen the game with lifetime insurance. So it's an awesome LTI token.
That is an absolute.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant pack. So
going into Invictus, it'd be a really cool LTI token. So we'll give that away today. I've just got to figure out a way to give it away. I don't know how to give it away. So
yeah. Bring back not a tuner.
I could. Well, yeah. We did talk about that.
I know how to take a bit of setting up.
I could just do it on the Discord. That might be the easiest way to do it. Let's because we've got the giveaway.
Yeah,
channel.
Just do it on Discord. Get people to turn up to a channel and register. And
got to remember how to get all this to work again because I never do it. Of course, Lemming's not here,
right.
And
that's right. It's
and Daft doesn't know how to do it.
No, Lemming's the one who usually takes care of our Discord stuff.
Is it site?
We'd be lost without Lemming.
Yeah, we would. I haven't even talked to him in a while. So this is the last one we did. Can I go?
Edit.
No. Shit, how do I get back to the thing? Public service? I think this is. No. Dinobot? Nope. Shit.
Broke it.
No, it's not that one. I don't know where to go. I'm lost. Server? No. Status. Yeah. I don't remember how to get the giveaway. Wish there was a link here. All right, well, I might figure this out in the background, which I kind of can't do because I can't do 2 things at once. Shit, I don't know where. Any of the mods know how to set this up, or can someone find Lemming? Daft Digit, I know you're in chat. Can you reach out and see if you can find Mr. Lemming, because Lemming's usually the one that sets this up, and I always butcher it. Log in with Discord. Let's see if I can. Hey, there we go. Hey, there we go. Sweet. Right, this is where I was meant to get to. I'm pretty sure. And then there's a thing down here, and it says giveaways, settings, create giveaway. Here we go. Sweet. What do we call it? ATLS stream giveaway. Stream giveaway. There we go. Prize details. Win. ATLS. Thanks to CIG. Bang. Starts now. When we want to end it, Algared? We want to end it in what? 10:30. 10:45. Algared? Did I lose you? Algared.
Sorry, I muted myself because I was coughing.
All right.
I forgot to unmute myself.
Yeah, 10:45. So 15 minutes before we finish. Number of winners 1. Yep. Select giveaway channel giveaway. Gotta go. Giveaways. There we go. Options. Use button. DM winner. Contact execute. No. Why can't I? On contact execute to get prize
Details.
Bang. Select the role. Everyone. Make it everyone, or do I make it? I think you got to be. What is this? Is it civilian? Oh, I can't remember the names now. What is it? Citizen. Yeah, it's a citizen. This action is irrevocable. What? Wait, what? Ah! For fuck's sake.
I didn't like it. Okay.
No, it went backwards and when this is the most riveting stream to watch, by the way. LS win and HLS things. I'm trying to do this quick. We want to make it 10. I'm sorry for the boredom, guys, and the fact that I got to do it again. One channel away. Cool. Citizen winner role.
Citizen, that's our lowest level.
Yep. Are you sure want to leave? Cancel. Yeah, it wanted me to leave for some reason. I didn't click back or anything. I don't have an image. Allow. No missions. Make giveaway page hidden from non-members users with no. That's fine. Allowed roles. Save giveaway. All right, should be up. And if I double check the giveaway channel, oh wait, there's now 2 there. Is there 2? All right, I'm gonna delete. I'll
delete the first one.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that one. Now it's just the one. Right, cool. So if you go on the Discord, there is a giveaways channel. In the giveaways channel, all you have to do is click the enter button, and you'll be in for that, and we'll give it away when it goes off. So, well, that's all done. Sorry for the stuff around, but I did do that off the cuff. If you can't tell, professionally planned, as we call it. Right. So we went through that one. The next one I want to go through is in the trailer, that came out for Drake Defense Con. There was a bunch of little bullshitty things. And this is the trailer. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but for example, as you go through, it shows, Grey Cat, whatever. That is the Tiburon, but you can't see anything of it, obviously. That is the Starlight, but you really can't see anything of it. That's the Assault in the background. But the one ship that kind of crept through that not a lot of people have picked up on is right here at the 14-second mark. On the far left-hand side is the Pitbull. Now, we know this because of the map that was leaked in the other one that had, the news article, the news flash. That had the map of this is the Assault, and then there's like the Mule and the 3 vehicles up front. All
things around it.
And the Pitbull was on the left-hand side. And Grim got sent an image today that is this image really enhanced. And this is it here. And it's way clearer, as you can see. That's something completely new. So for what I can gather, that is similar to, the little cockpits that you have in the command module, the ironclad and stuff like that. And so the chair's obviously off screen and obviously turns around. Well, you can kind of see the chair there. The chair turns around and comes forward. Now, if that's the case, that means this has most likely got internals. But by the same token, off to my here, that's landing gear. So it's not a vehicle. It's not a ground vehicle. It's a ship.
It's some form of spaceship.
It's also not a very big ship, right? And the closest ship in size to this right now, and I honestly thought it was a variant of it, was the Golem, to the point that it's even got basically the same guns and the same sensors as the Golem. It almost looks like that's where they started and modified it. roll. I mean, you and I went all over. Well, that just so you know, that's what me and Algared were talking about for an hour. What the hell could this thing be? And we've been through a whole bunch of things, and I don't think we've got anything that we can clearly go, that's it. But what we can do, Algared, is narrow the field. And the way we've been kind of narrowing the field is looking at upcoming gameplay.
Yeah.
But based on last week's Starlight preview, and it said fill her up, I think you've got to take refueling potentially out of it, unless this is even smaller. So that one I struggle with a little bit. I think, I don't know, are you the same?
Kinda, but the thing, like, it's defense con, so you'd expect combat ships, but that looks too fat and chunky to be a combat ship, to be a fighter.
Well, yeah, as I said to you, like when we were talking about it, the only fighter I could see as if it was like akin to like a Redeemer, so more of a gunship.
Yeah, and Drake's fighter. Drake's only got one fighter, it's the Buccaneer, and it's more flat and squat. And so I'd have thought if Drake were doing another fighter, it would have been more Buccaneers in styling. This seems too fat and tall.
We've got
it almost feels.
We've got Griffin Gaming and Grim in chat, by the way. Nice to see you, boys. Right, sorry, I got to say.
Yep. The height feels more like the cutter height in terms of.
Yeah, it's definitely. It feels like if we're that. Look, I could just use my mouse pointer. Hang on. Yeah, so this kind of feels about the same height as what the golem would be, but this implies that it goes taller, right, and goes up more. And this almost looks like a door on the side and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying it is, but you can kind of see the chair here, and you can almost see that it's stand-up height, which clearly the golem does not have any interior. So it seems a bit more interesting. What it could be.
Grim did message earlier and saying it looked like there was an open door on the side when he was looking at. If I read your comment in chat correctly, Grim. So yeah, I'd go with that.
Did he send it to you?
No, he sent it through on the YouTube chat.
Oh, okay. He reckons
a while ago.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yep. Yeah, opium is his favorite drug. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like again, looking at gameplay roles coming out of the pipe. Now, one thing I want to ask chat while everyone's here, because I couldn't find it. Someone I was talking to during the week mentioned something about the grabby hands walking along the surface of ships was coming in 4.8. Can anyone confirm that as a thing? Because I can't find diddly shit about it on the roadmap. I went through back through a bunch of stuff. I couldn't find anything. So what I want to know is, has anyone seen any updates on that coming for 4.8? Like walking on the surface of ships. You know, where you know how you can kind of like walking on the surface of a pool or whatever. Because that did lead me to one thing it could be, right? And that is a cheap boarding craft, which would lean into the military angle. And Drake kind of do need something like that for ROC purposes.
All right, look, I could see that. My concern, and this is when you raised it. My concern was, I don't think the game's ready for boarding it. Like we don't have the hacking and other things. But putting the grabby hand stuff in, then raises the bar for that being a possibility.
I've got to shut this down because it keeps coming up, and I'm going to shut it down again because I keep hearing it, and it's definitely not the case. So, people keep saying it's a command module. It's not a command module. Look how fat this thing is at the front. Yep. Look how far back the landing gear is, and then go over and look at the one that we were just looking at again. There's no way. There's no way. No way. And the other thing that I keep hearing is, I want a combat command module. And I've shut that down as well because it could be a thing, but realistically, let's cover the command module and guns just for shits and giggles. Now you attach it to the Ironclad or the Caterpillar, and all the guns are off to one side. What do you do if you're a fighter? You just go on the other side of the ship, making the whole reason for having them redundant.
The idea would be, in that case, you're using your command module like a snob fighter, like the P-5272. And that time to detach, that time to hand control back to the main part of the main body of a ship. That would be, that's almost akin to when you're dialing up your jump engines or your quantum engines.
So if I open this, by the way, this is, it's probably a little bit small now, but this is the Golem, and at first I thought it was a Golem variant with these parts ripped off the side, but then you can see it's a completely different cab, and the door, you can't see the door, but the door's kind of got like vertical grills on it, so it is completely really different. And obviously, as you can see here from the picture, it's a lot taller. So again, if you put a glass canopy, it does go up to this height. So it could be a modified Golem, but boy, is it it's really modified. Like it's got internals and stuff like that.
Yeah, look, I think it most likely a Golem-esque variant. The only where I could go in terms of command module is they started off with 2 command modules. They said, no, we only need 1, and they've just tossed the smaller command module aside, and they've just ripped assets off and made a new ship. But it's not a command module. It's kind of taking old assets and reusing them. But I agree with you. It's not a command module.
And again, when I talk about a boarding craft, it would be a Drake boarding craft. So it wouldn't be like the Legionnaire. It wouldn't do hacking, and it wouldn't even go up to a dock. It would literally be like some kind of magnetic thing that just attaches to the hull, and people just crawl out of it and crawl around the outside of your ship. It would be down and dirty boarding, like just a really cheap, let's get over there type of thing. And I again, I can only look at what we've got, and as always, we don't have a lot to look at, but that's new. I think all we can say is that's new, and what's on the other side. Oh, one thing we can say is it's not very big, because again, like the Golem, look where the landing gear is, and you've got a triangular platform. If it's that close to the front of the ship, therefore the ship itself is not very big, right? You can ascertain that. So again, going back to the Golem image, right? You can kind of see. Well, hang on, I'm trying to position this so it's not in front of my fat head. You can kind of imagine it's not the biggest stance. And if I go to a ship just the size up, so I go, look, landing gear gets further apart again. So knowing how close it is to the front of the ship, it kind of gives you your answer. It's not a huge ship.
We know it's a small ship. We know, the things we can take away. We know it's very small. We know that it's probably Golem-esque. I keep coming back to kind of cutter.
Well, that was something that you and I did talk about too. Is could it be the ship for the Reclaimer? That because the other thing is because the reason we thought it was a vehicle to start with was because the Ironclad Assault doesn't have a ship to assault with or a vehicle to assault with, and Drake always have answers to their own questions, right? So yes, in the concept art we saw a Pisces and the Nova tank. But when I saw that, I went, oh, they're probably just going to make their own tank, right? Obviously, they didn't do that, but maybe they will in the future. Who knows, right? But when I look at this thing is, well, maybe it's not for the assault. Maybe it's for the Ironclad. Now, what could assist the Ironclad? And I actually have changed my answer on that a bit, because you could just use the Ox to do that, pull things off with the tractor beam. But what if it was some kind of salvaging, pulling components out of the ship type of thing, which would work with a Reclaimer, and it would work with that kind of retrieval aspect of stealing things really quickly for the Ironclad. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I've got 2 schools of thought: cheap boarding craft or stealing pieces of ship. I don't know what to call that, but I've got nothing to back that up other than feels.
But one of the things that I think really ties in is your question. Do you think it's got an interior? Because and you thought that because the seat was so far back.
Yeah.
And I think a starter ship with an interior, another Drake starter ship, or another small ship that feels is ideal for beginner players, is ideal. For ages, CIG seemed to not leverage into the big thing, the thing that actually makes this game so awesome, and that's to get around, walk around your ship, go from literally ship to planet and everywhere else.
There was a few people that suggested it was a mech during the week, and I'm like, there's no way that's a mech. Look how tiny its feet are. It wouldn't. just doesn't work. It's
fall over.
It's fall over.
It'd be called Barbie.
And I can't think of how a landing vehicle would work with feet that small. So to me, it just has to be a ship. Yeah. Yeah, again, Pitbull is a small animal, stocky, and a lockjaw. And also dogs fetch things. So yep, that's it. Obviously something that came up as well, like a Drake Mantis. That would lean into the combat stuff as well. Absolutely. Don't disagree with that at all. But I think we're like, again, if we're narrowing the field, something military combat-esque because of the defense con. But also, I think you can break a few of the rules this year because we used to tie everything to Invictus, but technically it's not Invictus anymore. So can't it kind of be whatever it can kind of be whatever the hell it wants, you know?
And it's Drake, so Drake could put any of their stuff in because it's Drake. It's Drake
the name. So Captain Wellheart, it is definitely called the Drake Pitbull. Drake Pitbull is what it's called, right? No arguments. Don't worry about the signs in the background. That's just all propaganda, Drake propaganda paraphernalia. Literally on the other side, it literally says Drake fuck yeah at one point. So just trust me, it's called the Drake Pitbull. Yeah. So again, don't always lean into the name either because the names can just be. Look at the Mantis.
Cool.
The reason they ended up calling it the Mantis was it was the only cool name they could come up with, and it actually was one of the first RSI names that broke a lot of their conventions to do with star constellations. So, yeah, and the Salvation did the same thing. So, yeah. You're welcome, Nord. Be here all week. That's my job.
That was what my yep was.
Yep.
We both saw it. Oh, yep.
Oh dear. Yeah. So I don't know. Grim, do you want to weigh in anything at all? I think it's got to do with the ground. The visibility on the canopy is limited to the downwards angle. Yeah, it does kind of look like you can see down, doesn't it? And it does look a little bit wide, almost like a Vulcan. So he's right. Yeah, you can. It almost does look like you can see down. You know, almost like on the Hawk and stuff. So what he's suggesting, and I kind of tend to agree with him. I thought this was under the chin at first, but now what I'm starting to think is that is the width of the ship. So imagine another one of these, but off to the side of the screen over here, and so that this is completely you can see straight through here.
Yeah, that's on your why you thought that was the chin. That's actually to the side. But they've had to make it a bit wider. But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so it almost starts to look a little bit like the Nostromo's dropship, a little bit when you start to see it like that, and a bit more military industrial-esque. So, we'll see. Like there's again, as I'm sure Grim and anyone else that does speculation will tell you. There's just enough rope there to hang yourself. There's nothing that tells you the roll. The guns on it are not very big. We'll see. We'll see. I really can't go any further than that unless I'd be guessing. And I've already done that, haven't I? So, yeah.
To the direct comments about Old Man Hurston looking a bit younger, it's the regen tech, you know. It just works. When you got the money, regen tech works.
Nordic Wolfman, first time chat on Twitch, says maybe a helicopter. Yeah, well, it's one of the things we talked about, like an attack craft, like a Redeemer or a gunship, aka Paladin, but smaller and cheaper. We'll see.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a bit more unique. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what it is. It you know, we always like those mysteries going into these sales, and I do like the fact that we've got one at least to look at in this, and obviously we've got one in the Origin there as well. Which kind of surprised me. Drake doing Origin doing releasing a ship at a defense squad is almost blasphemy. It's pretty funny.
I know,
but I like it.
It's because they've constantly wanted to do, you know, have their stuff in it. And they were always slammed and not allowed to. Alter perceptions. Yes, we did talk about that seat Formby last week.
Oh, actually, we probably need to go over that. The seat from the Starlight, but this seat as well from the week before is now believed to be the Pitbull.
Yeah.
If you remember this one. So this is actually believed. Ironically though, there's nothing behind it.
No.
So
which would kill the idea of an interior.
Well, unless it's you walk up, you get into the sit in the seat, and then the seat moves forward.
Yep.
Right. So
now,
what Grim said, like there's a door off to the side. So
yeah,
maybe it's interior but very small.
Yeah, kind of Aurora-esque interior. Just get in and go to your seat with no bed at the back. Now that would raise the question to me: what role would I see a small snubby type ship having? And I think either my thoughts go to either a thing with tractor beams to retrieve stuff, or it's a very, very cheap refueling ship, even smaller than the Starlight.
Yeah,
and that makes sense just in terms of that idea of having a small, very cheap ship turning up.
Can anyone get me the tagline from this preview? Because I forgot what it was. Does anyone remember the tagline in the preview? I could probably go back and find it if I had to, but it will take me.
That would probably help. Breakdown.
Yeah. So that was last week. So that's the Starlights. Would mean it's probably this one. It is, and it says big things come on small packages. Big things come on small packages.
Okay, it's a Drake equivalent of an Ares.
Makes me think it's more like a transporter of some type. Either fuel transporter or cargo transporter or something like that. But again, we do have a need for refueling and fuel transport.
Yep. And 4.8 refueling is one of the big things that are coming. And you keep drawing attention to the fact that one of the things in that patch is NPCs doing missions as well. And you keep saying we need a very small refueler for the NPCs.
Well, that's what I thought the Starlight was, but now I'm wondering if they have done two small ones and just have different tech levels. So, you know, the Starlight's higher tech level, or is the Starlight a bit bigger, or is this one a bit bigger? You know, like is one of them a medium and one of them a starter?
Yeah, and that would work. You know, they did the same type of thing with the Salvation and the Fortune and the multiple of variants of salvage we've got. So that would make sense. But yeah, it's just enough rope, as I usually say. Just enough rope.
Big things come on small packages. He's right. It is. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me, Citizen Ninja. Big things come on small packages. Big things come on. So, well, that almost sounds like a vehicle transport.
Yeah.
Like it transports a tank or something.
Transports an Aurora. It's Drake's towing vehicle.
Does it work with the ironclad assault so it can take them down to planet or something? That would make it like a fully externalized Asgard, basically.
And that's why it's a big things come on small packages.
Well, it's also probably why it looks like the ship from Nostromo, because that also destroyed that, you know, not the tank thing, but you know, the
rover.
I wonder. What if instead of delivering large vehicles, it does mediums? So think like Ursa and down.
Yep. No, I could see it doing something like that. Or people keep saying Atlas variants or
Atlas transporter. Yeah, maybe.
Atlas transporter, but I don't think Atlas are big. So if I was going with their big things come on small packages, my mind has to go to vehicle transport, and then I go tanks or along that line. And if you can do a tank, then you can do smaller vehicles as well. So question is how big.
Really intriguing.
Yep.
We don't really have any more on the Starlight either, but the Starlight, you can clearly tell it's got an interior, so it's got a door. And the door obviously goes into another room, so there's at least 2 rooms in that thing, so it's at least minimum hull A in size. Yeah, it could also be big guns on a small ship. You are absolutely correct, Gasoline Moth.
Yep.
It could,
and that wouldn't be out of
that could imply that it's like a heavy or medium fighter. Not going to rule that out either. It would be really cool because we've been saying for a while it'd be really cool to see another size of fighter above the Buccaneer. It's definitely been missing from the lineup, and it probably would be needed for Squadron Episode 2, Squadron 42 Episode 2 going into that as well. So maybe.
Yeah, and we did raise that question. You certainly raised that question before, whether it's kind of gunshipy, fighter-esque type thing. The main reason we went away from the fighter idea is because it looks too tall, whereas the Buccaneer is fairly flat. But if you use, as I think it was Zach was saying in
this is the one
chat.
This is the one I'm thinking of, by the way.
Yep.
If you guys are trying to remember, and you can kind of see those 2 front things, that's what was reminding me of. Wrong one, this one, that part there on the right. It's kind of a bit similar to that.
Yeah, so you have those on the side, and it just. Yeah, I could see something like that.
Yeah. Obviously, it doesn't.
It does look a bit.
Obviously, it doesn't have those big dangly legs, and it doesn't drive out underneath. It would just drive out the back, or it would drop it and then fly off, and the thing would just drive.
So very much a.
But yeah,
if you're doing that, then it's almost an MPUV, a Drake version of an MPUV with the cab and then the cargo clamp thing for the vehicle at the back.
So we've got a few things there: transporter, gunny type ship. It does look I don't know. I'm just intrigued. Again, enough rope, as we always say.
Yeah, and that's on a cleaned up version of the.
Yeah. What made it even more confusing
of the picture.
Yeah.
So. But it does look like it does have an armor plate above the top, so yeah, it's got some form of.
Pitbull does kind of lean its name to something more aggressive, doesn't it? Like, let's be honest, it does. It doesn't really feel like a. Yes, dog's fetch, but wouldn't you call it the Hound? If it was like, if it was
the Bloodhound.
You wouldn't call it a pit bull, which is a really aggressive dog, is my point, right? So the fact that it's called pit bull makes me think it's more combat orientated.
Yeah.
Right. Again, the Golem, was the ox. Like it's a workhorse. It wasn't aggressive in nature, right? So if this was a transporter, I would have thought a name more similar to that. But the fact that it's called pit bull, again, I don't like to look into the names too much because they obviously don't always line up. But I think you'd have to agree that it's probably more military skewed with a name like that than utilitarian. Let Algared finish coughing his lungs out, and then
I'll just die in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you'd agree with that, Algared. More military than.
Oh, look, and that's the question. That's the big question. And the hard thing is, we're used to it being Invictus, so we're used to just thinking military. But it's just DensCon, and that could be anything that's related to defense. But the fact that it's called Pitbull, aggressive dog, guard dog, makes you think, okay, it's got to be more combat-esque. But the size and height of that cab just makes me think it just feels too big.
Well,
now, maybe it's just the angle confusing me, but
he's finally arrived. Wasn't here last week. Should we give? I got to do it on Twitch. And I'm going to leave it completely up to the community. If they say yes, they say yes. If they say no, they say no. And we'll find out how much they love you. And the person I'm talking about who's just turned up is Bola. Nice to see you, Bola.
I actually want his late note for last week.
The polls are up. Give us your votes. Should we give Bola the ship that he won? but you didn't turn up for, and technically I shouldn't give you shit. So I'm going to put the vote out to the community and let the community see whether you should have it or not. We'll see what they say. So far, you're up to 80% on YouTube, and I think you're going to be safe. You're up to 100% on Twitch.
Oh, no, yeah. 83% on Twitch.
You won the Saber, mate, but you didn't turn up.
Yeah. So,
slack ass.
Why were you away?
Yeah, why were you away?
Where were you last week, mate?
Yeah, where were you? You won a Saber, and I even messaged you. If you check your comment, you'll find that I replied to you and said, "Congrats, Bowler, you won a blah blah blah." It looks like Twitch has gone there. Oh, Twitch is almost 50-50.
Yeah, Twitch don't like you.
Twitch got a revenge streak going on, Bowler. But it's probably gonna be YouTube that save you. You are one vote difference on Twitch. Like one more people versus vote no.
I just want to know what was going on last week for you, mate.
Yeah, where were you?
You're here every week and you were away.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. You left a comment, but you didn't come and claim. He goes, I'm new here. Be damned if I'm deciding the deciding vote. That's from Ace Nolis. Yeah, well, YouTube's even starting to go down a bit now. It's quite funny. People like, because the thing you haven't realized, guys, is that means we've got to redraw the ship and give it away to someone else. So yeah, that's why the negatives are coming in there saying, oh, hang on. It's not a Pentagon. It's not a Pentagon rider. It's an actual saber, like just a default saber. I believe it was the one from Halloween that they gave us. So it's got that coppery.
Visiting your grandparents on Anzac Day, huh?
Yeah, it was the coppery looking one from Halloween. Yeah, how dare you have a life? So yeah, it's literally 50-50 on Twitch. And YouTube's gone down to 67%. Oh. It's not looking good, Bowler. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. I think they're gonna leave you hanging out to dry.
Yep. Can't trust your friends. You have to call up with your mates and say, get on the channel and say yes. So, but
anyway, we've got almost. Oh, it's gone back to yes on Twitch. He's 2 votes up now on Twitch. I think he's safe now. Yeah. He's only got about 30, not even 30 seconds left. Pretty good. But yeah, Bowler, reach out to me on Discord, man. And
top 10 portrayals, huh?
Yeah. Well,
yep.
Yep. And we're just about to end on Twitch as well.
There you go.
Done. So you're safe. Just.
Both communities said
Get of your teeth.
You're good.
Getting your teeth.
Right. But as Focus said, he's a regular. Be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, well, that's why I'm having a joke, obviously. But reach out on Discord and I'll get that off to you, mate. All right. We got anything else to go over, Algared, that you can remember?
If not, I will remember it. If I don't remember, I'll probably remember it later on, like you will. Yes, justice for Bowler. Yes.
It was the ship thing that you wanted to go over, wasn't there? Oh yeah, here.
No, we're talking about the unannounced ships, but they're all been done.
Yeah, but look, there is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a lot of unannounced ships to come. They're all finished. One thing I will say on here that I don't think a lot of people have picked up on, is this Squadron 42 into July. I think we can safely bet we're not getting Squadron to at least after July. What happens in August, Algared? What's that one event that happens every year in August that Star Citizen started at?
Oh, you mean that German convention? What is it? Gamescom?
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah. And you mentioned that, and the second you mentioned it to me this morning, I went, "Yep, that makes sense."
So
they like having that complete return to Origins, you know.
And there's not a lot of people that kind of do bigger game announcements there. It would be a good place to do one. Also, if they are worried about the auction being taken out of the room by GTA, gives you 3 months before it even comes out.
Yeah, and I can remember seeing previews to games at Gamescom, and then not hearing anything about the game for 10 years, and then the game appears. So you know, so yeah, it's not a bad idea. It makes sense. It's so many levels, and yeah.
I do think regardless, we're probably going to start to hear things about it at DefenseCon. I think we might hear about stuff about Squadron. We might hear some stuff about CitizenCon. It's time. Like, usually we would have heard about it by now. So people can buy their tickets like 5-6 months out, right? Because you need to do all that stuff in advance to be able to book, right? Or it just costs way too much. And the fact that we haven't heard anything, I think they're trying to do it all as a big announcement. We'll see. And again, I'm with you, Algared. Them pulling the military out does somehow tie into the release. I just got a feeling. And they even mentioned that it's for some kind of combat reason at Seoul. And
here's the thought. We haven't heard about it yet, but Seoul have intercepted a Vandal fighter. It's been kept silent, but if you intercept a short-range fighter in Seoul, that means there's a jump point. And that means you got to get, and you haven't found the jump point yet, but you've got to get your Navy back for that reason.
Yeah, and there's only
one. That's my thinking.
And humans only know of one jump point, and we've said that for a while. It's really weird that there's one jump point, and you can see that Vega is like right next to Seoul, so they've found something, some kind of backdoor into Seoul.
Yep.
There is one thing that I forgot to go over, and people are mentioning in chat, and that was this. In the jump point today, they dumped a whole bunch of work in progress on the Kraken, and I'm a big Kraken fan, as is yourself and Grim. These turrets are looking, to say the least. That's an official term, by the way.
I really do like the way a capital ship turrets have got the small turrets, the small guns, the fighter turrets on top, the fighter guns on top as well. So I do like the way that CIG have moved in that line. So
they look bespoke to me though, which also disappoints me. So you can't change them, but that seems to be the way they're going with a lot of the bigger guns these days to balance them, is just make them bespoke. There is some interesting things down here, like what's this thing above the landing gear and stuff like that.
Yep. Now, interestingly, Parker Terrell in Jump Point does talk about the reasons the Navy's gone back. So I haven't read that yet. So
we'll go over that.
I will be certainly looking forward to that.
Yep. There's some little shelves and stuff. I don't know what they're for landing or whatever on this side. That's all new to me as well.
They almost do look like small platform. Could they be the snub launch pads?
Potentially, or drone pads or something like that. Yeah, this is looking really cool. Like it's looking a lot more Capital Drake and a lot more Comedy Drake, which we haven't really seen a lot of, and I'm really liking this kind of what was it called? The ship in the Matrix, the Nebuchadnezzar or whatever. It's got a Nebuchadnezzar look to it. If you know, did you know the ship I'm talking about with the big electric pad things, but on the inside they just had cables going bloody everywhere. Like that's what it reminds me of. Which I am down for, right? Don't get me wrong on that. They're saying here,
well, you've got one.
Yes. Well, people in chat are saying that it's shrunk a little bit. I haven't read the text, but can someone tell me in chat why they think it's shrunk? Someone who mentioned it earlier. I did read it really briefly. Thorn. Where does it say, Thorn, that it's shrunk? Right. I'll let him reply. He's on Twitch. Just keep an eye on Twitch for me, Aaron, and see if he replies. Yep. Yeah, see, a lot of this is grey box stuff, but you can see, like Grim and I suspected, they've just gone through and done a lot more detailing. So, I do think I am very hopeful we will actually see this exterior, at Invictus.
Thorn says it went from 270 meters to 260 meters.
Yeah, that's not so bad. But that could just be an antenna being taken off though, because it did have that really big antenna thing out the front.
Yep. My memory was that originally it was based on CIG took the Idris hull, not saying the in-game companies did that, but they took the Idris hull and then modified it to turn it into a flatbed. But I'd have to go back and read the stuff, and I can't even remember where I saw that or heard that. But yeah,
see here as well. Like it's got normal guns on it, and then the one that came first, now it's got more bespoke guns. It's almost like these two images are backwards. They posted them in the wrong spot, because they mention here the turrets receive design pass to elevate them to a key element of the ship. Well, if that's the case, shouldn't this be up here and this one be down here? Because this one is clearly newer. I think someone stuffed up the images and put them in the wrong order. But anyway, time will tell. Time will tell.
But either way, they do look great. Chat did point out that Sol does have 2 jump points, but the point that you were making is that there are just the 1 or 2 jump points out of Sol. It's one reason why Terra is seen as being awesome, because it's got so many jump points. It ties in with that Roman kind of history, where it's an easy place to get troops to the edges of the empire. But the big thing that sticks out when you look at Sol and you look at where the jump points are, there's this great big empty void, and you go, yeah, there's a jump point somewhere in here, just because it seems to make sense.
Oh, there are 2 jump points, but my point still stands.
There's this great big void at the top.
Right, and they're both on essentially on the same side, where when you look at most of them, like, yes, there are, like you can even look at this Callus, like it clearly looks like there's a 3rd one for Callus as well, right? Yep. Cano, there's probably one that's going to appear from Cano to Killian. They have to have ones that we have to discover, otherwise it's going to be shit. And again, what if they're just
zoom in a bit?
What if they're just
and go to those?
Let me finish. What if they're just closed temporarily as well, right?
Yep. And we know that's happened.
Well, there's an entire system that's been logged out.
We're jump point closed, and we can't get to the system again. But you look at the systems, all those red systems on the right, on the left of Sol.
Vigil and
Vigil, and they're all either unclaimed or they are.
That's where they all have letter V, or most of them. Tiberius was one of ours that they took, but any that were V were Vandal systems. We lost
Virgil was ours.
Caliban and Tiberius and Virgil. Most of the other Vs, and Vega was ours as well. Well, Vega's ours, but they're in at the moment. But yeah, that's where they're coming into, because it's the Battle of Vega at the start of Squadron, and then they go over to Odin. So, but yeah, this is definitely where it's going to happen.
Yeah, and you could just see one from Virgil straight through to Earth.
Yep.
Or Sol, and
Virgil, I would go Vega.
Well, Vega's still human controlled, so you may have one from Vega.
There's the attack on Vega though.
Yes, but they attack Vega, but you've got to take Vega before you can.
No, I'll give you Virgil. Yep, it could be Virgil or Vega. Yep, I'll give you both.
And if you're doing a Vandal incursion into Sol.
So I could suggesting here, which is possible.
Then you'd need a jump point from a Vandal system. Otherwise, you jump into Vega, then you're jumping again into a different system. So it'd be.
And I could even see Bremen and Tanga though as well. So there's quite a few.
Yeah, I could see a whole host of new ones. But one of the reasons they don't have many jump points in Sol is because Sol's like Rome. For the Romans to get troops to the frontier from Rome was too hard, and that's one of the reasons Constantinople moved the capital to the little village of Byzantium and renamed it Constantinople. So it's picking up that history type idea. It's why Terrans think they're the first among.
Ebola's saying, I seem to remember some system being original Kickstarter only. Yeah, there is a system that's meant to only be accessible by Kickstarter backers. I can confirm.
Yep.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I think it'll be that, and then it'll open up later to other people, or like it'll be a secret. The only way, only us will know about the jump point, but then someone will just sell it to other people. It'll be something like that, something silly. So
the original idea was that, if I recall correctly, and it's very similar to you, is that there was a jump point coordinates that we would have, which would lead to a new system. But the system that had the jump point closed was 200 or 300 years ago. And there's a community of humans, a settlement of humans that are isolated. They're cut off.
Bowler, if you want confirmation from memory, it is on the funding tracker there somewhere. It's one of the goals. I can't remember which one, but that's where my memory tells me to go. To go on there and have a look, and you might be able to get the exact one.
Now, are we suggesting that a sack of Earth will be part of Squadron 42? We've heard that in the past from CIG that Earth will get sacked, and I can see that makes sense on so many levels. It means you can actually destroy all the landmarks on Earth. You don't have to worry about building landmarks or having those there. You can have bits that look vaguely similar, but you don't have to have everything.
And little Johnny can't go to Sol and go, hey, look, it's my house. Right?
Yeah. And
again, technically the planets are a quarter of the size. So by destroying or mucking up a lot of Earth, you can still have landing zones. So like we can still have, they have London, Moscow, New York or whatever, you know.
Yep.
But they can still have some like
small areas. And they've still got to have that awesome, the best university of all is the Seoul University in.
They haven't. No, I don't remember there being a landing zone in Australia. I don't think it got voted up.
No, but they're one of the universities, the key university, one of the key universities.
The point I'm getting at, you're obviously going to have new buildings built, right? But they're probably going to have like, okay, let's just take Sydney as one that you and I know. They'll probably still have the Opera House in 1,000 years' time. Like they'd restore it and shit, right? They'd probably still have the Statue of Liberty. They'd probably still have the Eiffel Tower. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. So they can do things like that.
Yep.
But they're not going to model out every street and every little thing, and you know,
yep.
You've got to make it have some parts that are recognizable, then others are just going to be, you know, was there a great flood and all of a sudden a huge mountain range got taken out? You know, like
yes, there was a great flood. The ice packs, the poles have melted. Yes, just to right, it was New York, it was Shanghai, it was Moscow, and there was a fourth that they didn't talk about.
It was London.
That hadn't been unnamed. We do know from the old CitizenCon paraphernalia there was also stuff done for Germany, and you know, so a landscape of Germany, but that was those landing zones for that you mentioned there from the tracker. They are pre-Pupil to Planet. They are back in the days when planets would only have certain locations you could go to.
Yeah, I think quite honestly, they'll probably do a lot more landing zones now than they were going to do.
Hell yeah!
Like Seoul, because that'll be a draw card for people to go to Seoul and see in the future. It'll be like almost like a tourist attraction. So I think they'll probably put a bit more effort in there than they originally planned.
And you know they're going to do that just because of the simple fact that, you know, originally moons were just going to be moons. There were how many places can you go to the moons where you can actually land on the planet at a little outpost? Dozens. Every planet has multiple places you can land. Maybe not at a base, but you know, there's certainly lots of places you can actually land ships in hangars now. I can't see them not doing that same treatment on Sol, but you want to make it so you don't have to recreate.
I think it'd be really funny if they did something like New York, and like because of the flooding, Manhattan gets taken out, so they move it up to higher ground. So it's New York. I just think it'd be funny, but not about destroying New York. I just thought it'd be funny for the name New York. Anyway. Yeah. All right. I think it might be time for questions, Algared. I don't think we've got anything much else.
No, I think that's a fair top. We've chewed the fat for a good hour.
Yep.
So
or more.
Almost actually a good hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, do you want to? How's your voice?
At the moment, it's okay. If I start coughing, and I'll let you take over.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
So
go for it.
Mr. Aender says, any Liberator expectations?
Liberator expectations.
It'll be free.
When was it? In the last year. Maybe an update, but I honestly don't see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think maybe next Invictus, you're more likely to see the Liberator. Most likely the Kraken is next year. And quite honestly, if anything is paused, I think you're probably looking at AIE next year for Anvil shit. So you'll probably see the Liberator and some kind of other new ship along with that.
Yep.
Would be my guess, just based on timings that we've seen of the Ironclad and the Kraken and stuff like that. They're taking about a 2-year period. So if it kind of got announced there, yeah, 1 or 2, either this next AIE would put it about 2 years.
Oh, I could see that. I'd also ask in terms of the Liberator. If I remember correctly, that needs the hacking gameplay, and that's not. I don't see that anytime soon.
Did he say Liberator?
He did say Liberator.
Oh man, I've mixed up my shit. I'm thinking of you've mixed up your ship. You're thinking of the Legionnaire. Liberator's the.
Yep.
I thought I'd done it for a second, and then but I see why you did it, because I just did it in reverse. Yeah, Liberator's the little boarding ship with the hacking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the Legionnaire? Sorry, is the Legionnaire, and the Liberator's the big
I was getting that.
shipping ship. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Big shipping ship. Yeah. I need it. Yet.
Socially confused. I do not see the giveaways channel on Discord. It disappeared for me when you delete. Have you okayed everything on the Discord? What's your role on the Discord? Let me have a look. Have you accepted all the little things? Because if you don't accept all the little things, you don't get given the role of citizen. Let's have a look. Socially confused. Socially confused. You have the role of citizen. You should be able to see it.
Should be able to see it. Try refreshing.
Yeah, try quitting Discord and coming back in again. And I mean quit Discord and come back in. Discord has been having a lot of bugs over the last 1 or 2 years. It's getting worse, not better, unfortunately. I have to close this star map. It's issues. My piece. Yeah, lag profusely.
Yep. And Hook, you are correct. You don't need to put question marks around the word question.
Yeah.
You put the question in, it will pick it up.
We very often get something going, how do I ask a question? And it'll literally come up in the thing.
Yep.
There it is. There are currently, let's have a look, view giveaway. Look, switch it over. How many people are entered? 283. So it's definitely working. Socially confused. I think we can safely say it's a you issue.
Yep. Unfortunately.
So yeah, all I can suggest, bro, is restarting. Has anyone else had any issue trying to join the giveaway? Nope. Okay. So
we always do want to know those things, because when there are problems, we do want to try and solve them. Thank
you for letting us know. Appreciate it. But clearly it's just you.
But sometimes we can't help.
Yeah. It is what it is. I guess I could try
a lot of Nightbot questions.
Share it.
You might be able to do that again.
Yeah, I'll share this just to socially confused. Where is he?
Well, there might be a new person who doesn't know our channel, so.
Oh, hey, yep, Bowler, I'll get that off to you. Really shouldn't have read that. I'm in streamer mode, couldn't see your name. Because I'm going to forget. You have to get back to me after chat, after the stream, Bowler. What's his name? Socially. Oh, he's never messaged me before. Oh, god damn it. People.
No,
the shit they make me jump through are good. Where is server settings, members, socially confused, message.
Well, there are a couple of people asking in Twitch as well.
Message? What'd they say?
Asking to put the link in chat.
Yeah, but then that allows them to bypass joining the Discord. I don't know if that's fair to everyone else.
Yeah, I know. And we want them to go to Discord.
There you go. Fucking in YouTube as well. If you're having Discord issues, Control R is your friend. It will restart and update Discord. Oh, okay, good to know. Didn't know that one.
Thank you, Gundam. It's our first time chatter on Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Radium.
Yep.
Radium from Texas. Says, will this new Origin luxury fighter have customization via the pledge store?
I
Kind
think
of
that
like
was
the 300i had that.
Yeah, I think that was a test for the 300i. I wouldn't say yes or no to that. I think it's something they'd like to do again in the future, but there's no way to tell what it is. I don't think you can safely say it's a fighter exactly. I think there's a fighter skill of it. But I'm more interested in its size than anything else. I think that is the determining factor for me of interest. I don't know if you agree on that, Algared, but that is it's the size for me.
You know, looks can kill. It's a ship with an EMP device that kills your jump drive.
I guess the kill part does kind of say it shoots things. Yes, I'll give you that.
You know,
but again,
so
does it? But being if looks can kill, you know, it sounds like Die Another Day or Born to Kill. You know, like a James Bond title of a movie.
Medusa.
All the Medusa from. It sounds like James Bond. It sounds like
because
it's
looks can kill.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going there. Right. But yeah, I was gonna say Medusa's got nothing to do with James Bond. But it makes it sound like a more luxury reply to Kruger, but it also sounds a bit like a bounty hunter ship. And we know bounty hunting is just waiting on scanning, and scanning is in the wings, is getting ready to go. So again, if they brought out a new series of ships, they could also go and and there'll be more coming over the next couple of months. Yeah, again, I can't see a Clipper variant coming that's not a bounty hunter. If this had say, let's argument's sake, say it's a 200i, I could clearly see a 225A that's skewed at bounty hunting. I could totally see that.
Yep.
But I might hope more than anything, no matter what the name is that it's medium, because we don't have that.
Gasoline Moth picks up the a James Bond movie title.
Yeah,
really ties in A View to Kill.
Yeah.
You know, and they're right. You know, that it picks up that looks can kill. It really does have that James Bondy feel.
Oh my God.
Austin Powers
I
feel,
prefer socially confused comment. Ooh, I bet it looks like my ex. If looks could kill. That's funny. He obviously did a lot wrong. Anyway.
Yep. It's possible. It's possible.
I think that's almost just about every woman I know. If looks
every woman I know can kill with a look.
Yeah.
Or can look absolutely stunningly deadly.
Yes.
So anyway.
Yep, we've seen this already, but thank you for the link. I don't know what your name is, whoever messaged me on Discord, but the name is just Zed. Yep, cool. Got it socially.
Mr. Ando says, with the mechanics, rephrasing his question, with the mechanics of carriers and the Kraken incoming, do you guys have any expectations for the Anvil Liberator dropping somewhere this year, or at least before? No, and I'd agree with what you said before.
What was the question? You started coughing before. The Kraken?
Sorry, he said to better phrase his question, with the mechanics for carriers and the Kraken incoming, do you guys have any expectation for the Anvil Liberator dropping somewhere this year, or at least before the Kraken?
No,
and I think I agree with you. No, it's later.
AIE next year would be my guess. Kraken's not coming this year. It's just the exterior. So I talked to Grim about this as well, and I'll talk to you about it now, Algared. I think you kind of agree. We're seeing a thing where building the exterior after you've worked out what size you need for the interior gives them a lot of benefits, because you can take that ship and use it as like an enemy combat vessel. We saw it with the Idris. We saw it with the Polaris. The only one they didn't do was the Perseus, but we've seen it with the Javelin. We're about to see the Mauler, right? Yep. If you have the Kraken, and the Kraken's even more than most of them, because the Kraken, once you have it, you've also got the pads. So you can have little ships fly off the... Exactly, right? So you actually get more from the exterior from gameplay terms than you do from the interior. The interior only benefits the users, not the attackers or defenders. So by doing the exterior first, you get a lot of benefit.
You have your Kraken with half a dozen ships on it, and that's your bad guy. And the fighters come off attack first, or the bombers go off and attack first, and then it's clearly a way they're doing it.
So in all honesty, I think, and again, if you think about how it's going to be worked out, Algared, you're going to have more time doing those interior rooms than you are doing the exterior. So by getting the exterior done, they get more benefit, and then they can just take their time for the next 12 months or whatever. And they would have had them grey boxed out and all that, right? But I mean, polishing them up to 100%, they can take a year to do it. So yeah. Liberator started pre-production, I think it was like October, November last year. So, and again, if you look at how long the Ironclad's taken, it only takes 18 months to go through the pipeline. But if it's ever got to stop or pause or anything like that, that adds another 6 months. So when you kind of work that out, it'll be 1 year this year, go around again, and we'll be at AIE. Bang, done. So AIE, 2 years time, there's your Liberator. And obviously they're going to have some other ships to go along with that. Oh, one of them's probably going to be the Odin, or at least started production on the Odin. And then what other, you know, do they do any other combat vessels? Do we get a Polaris-esque? Do we get some more fighter? You know what I mean? Like, or it depends where they want to go, because we do have all the Asgard and Valkyrie and, you know, all those little ships on the way down. But what's missing is those bigger ones. And you'll know as well as I do, they're probably going to be ready for episode 3. Like a lot of those combat, like the Odin is clearly going to be in episode 3. Clearly, right? So,
whatever assets they've got, plus new ones,
So realistically speaking, let's just be realistic for a minute. If you've got to make episode 2, and let's just say that they said originally, and I don't think this will be the case, right? But I'm saying best case scenario, they said it'll be 2 years before we see episode 2. Remember that? You remember it, right?
Yep.
So if that's kind of like Drake RSI, episode 2, and we know Anvil's going to be the one at the end because they're the ones that are replacing Aegis, so therefore that means the battle cruise is 4 years away. Just saying, it's a big ship that they unless they announce the start of production for it, which I guess we'll wait and see. But I think in all honesty, you're going to be at least a 4-year wait. And honestly, that sounds like a long time, but I still don't have my Banner Merchant Man, and that was in 2013. So I've been waiting 13 years. And I got it day one, as did Paul. So there's very few people that can argue with me and Paul on that. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you restart the bot?
No, I did it. Yeah, it did.
It has died.
That's not good. It means it's probably going to continue to die. That's usually what happens. Once it dies, it continues to do.
It could be a real bother, cause
question. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of questions coming in, to be honest.
No, I was looking at the end and I'm going, not many questions there, and I was seeing questions pop up and they didn't.
Well, it started, but it hasn't sucked anything in yet, so we'll see. If not,
there we come.
Whoa, there's a whole bunch. Most of them are Nightbots, though, so there's only 2 more questions. And the other thing I'll notice is there's none from Twitch. Oh, there we go. There we go. Is the question bot working? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is working.
Right, we'll go through those. Make sure you go through and delete the Nightbot ones for me.
I will be doing that as I go. Actually, I'll do that now.
Well, it's better if you do them because it annoys you when I do it. But, I don't want to piss you off.
Well, it annoys you when I do it when you're reading the questions as well. So
it's just easier if you do it because you're going to read them. You like reading them, so I don't mind reading them, but it just seems to be your thing. So I've just kind of let you do most of it these days. I think that's everything. Unless you want to go on to another question, when you are ready, sir.
I'll just get rid of another Nightbot question.
I will tell that's an insult. I can't find anyone to put me up in Brisbane, so I don't think I'll be coming at the end of the month to the Bar Citizen, buddy. But I do wish you guys well, and maybe I'll catch you on another one. But yeah, I just can't find anywhere to stay at the moment. And with other things that might have to go along in the year, I have to be very tight with my budget this year. travel and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd love to come. I can afford the tickets, but it's the accommodation that's going to kill me. So yeah, unless you can find someone that can put me up for 2 nights, which would be May 30th and yeah, May 30th and 31st. I am out, unfortunately. I've tapped everyone I know, and they do not have the space. Right. You want to read Algared since you're coughing?
Okay, right, I'm alive still.
All right.
Nova A42 says, do you think we will see a standalone command module option, or can we try and find a used cat or ironclad hull in PU? So we can try and find a used.
I have not found a good use for an alternative command module yet. As I've said to Algared, like the one that most people keep saying, oh, they want a combat version of it, right? And as I said earlier, if you cover it in guns, right, doesn't matter how many guns you put on it, as soon as you attach it back to the ironclad or the caterpillar, it's off to one side, and any fighter pilot that's worth his grain of salt will just avoid it, making the whole thing bloody useless, right? And they've stated several times that it is really emergency use escape pod. It's Drake's version of an escape pod. And when you realize that, they don't really want it to be detaching and reattaching all the time. I thought it was going to be like a snub, akin to the Pisces or something like that. But the way they're wording it is no, it only really detaches when you leave it, when you're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and the amount of time it takes to transfer control is not the time of launching a snub. So, yeah, could you use it as a snub fighter? Yeah, sure, but
and trying to reattach in combat. There was a really cool clip during the week. Someone went into Xeno threat, and he was in the command module, and there was all the people on the turrets and all that, and he just disconnects, and they just sail into combat, and he just leaves them. They can't fly the ship. They can apparently like everything just, I don't know if it powers down, but they were just stuck on it. They couldn't do anything because there's no way to fly it. So they're just like sailing.
Yeah, well,
into combat, getting shot the shit out of, and yeah.
Hey, it's one way to get out of Dodge, isn't it? You detach your ship and it keeps going.
Can you imagine a prisoner on the ironclad makes it to the command module and just says, "Adios, bitches," and just leaves them?
Oh, could you imagine?
They're right here.
you put a whole pile of 20 or 30 PDCs on one of those and you do the same thing.
Oh yeah, could be interesting.
It could be. Okay. And Katsuni says, do we think the Origin ship is a stealth fighter?
Look, I think it really comes down to the size of it, as I said. If it is, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say it is a 200i and it's somewhere between 100 and 300i, right? There's not a lot left. There's not a lot left that you like. It's just packed down there, right? We don't have a stealth fighter at that size, other than the Razor, that black one,
and the Raven.
Raven's probably a bit bigger though, to be fair.
And it's also very significantly limited. So,
Origin traditionally, I think, don't really have a lot of combat ships. They've got the 125 and the 325. And honestly, I felt for a long time, I don't know how Algared feels, but they felt like outliers. And the fact that Krugers came along and they're now clearly going into the luxury military field, I would almost think they'd want to distance themselves from them, wouldn't you?
I would have thought that too, like...
Because you're treading on Kruger's ground now.
Yeah. Now, I could see them wanting to answer Kruger, but then I would have expected Origin to do that via Mirai, because when they launched Mirai was their... The idea of Mirai was, this is the company that does our military and pushes our Xi'an collaboration.
Now, having an internals on a stealth fighter would be new. We've never seen that. I wouldn't say it's out of the realm, but that would start to push it into the realm of e-warfare, in my personal opinion. So think Sentinel. Which I wouldn't really think Origin. I'd actually kind of go more Kruger, wouldn't you? Out of those two, if I had to go military stealth.
Yeah, look, to me, the Kruger ships do feel they look like they'd be more stealthy.
Origin does
They're
have
sleek,
the higher
they're
tech
smooth.
level, as in Kruger tends to
Yep.
have the old-fashioned luxury. Origin does have higher tech, so yes, I could see it actually.
And Originally do have that ability to leverage into Xi'an tech, which is why that was one of the things I can remember with the Freelancer. The Freelancer was supposed to have a whole pile of Xi'an tech in it.
So yeah, I keep coming back to a medium ship though because of the interior. If it is just a 200 with an interior, then I don't know. It just feels like and they've done it before. It'll just feel like a CIG afterthought to me. If it's literally right between the 1 and 200, that's kind of sad to me. I had higher expectations than that, and they have not been met.
And yet I could see CIG doing it because for so long people say, "Where's the 200?"
Well, and quite honestly, I think they should just break the mold and make it bigger. Yeah,
I just think, oh,
we've needed a medium Origin ship for a while. There is not a lot of like we obviously need a Kruger one now too. We need the Consolid Outline ones too. But if they're like that is the sweet spot of this game. 1 to 2 type of people is going to be really common for a lot of people. Because you can manage those ships on your own, but as engineering comes in and stuff like that, you get to a connie and it starts to become a bit cumbersome. So a lot of people are just going to want to go out on their own. They're not going to want to do that. But by the same token, from a value proposition, earning down is still the way to go.
Indeed.
But I think use case medium.
I've been doing that with the last.
Algared, did you mute yourself? Your lips are moving. I'm getting sound warnings on Discord.
No more inconvenient.
You're back.
To use Reclaimer.
Stop. You're back. Start again.
So, I've been taking out the Moth, but I mean, having a great time with that. But using the Moth over the Reclaimer is no less inconvenient if you're using it solo than the Moth. No less inconvenient. The only advantage you get with the Moth is you can go to any space station and land in a hangar. Whereas Reclaimer, you'd have to go back to a large base. But the advantage of a Reclaimer is it's got more cargo space, so you can store a lot more stuff before you have to do that. So, but yeah, like no difference. No difference in usability, and yet Reclaimer is 2-3 times the price of the Moth. And gives me ability to have more people on and help. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what shakes out. It could just be a variant of another ship, as we said. It could be a whole new series of ships. We'll wait and see. But visually, to my eye, it's the closest thing I've seen to a 300i. I don't know. Maybe it's another 300i rework. Even who the hell knows at this point? As always, just enough string to hang ourselves.
And yet, when I look at that sneak peek, to me, my first thoughts were, well, that's an M50 rather than it looked like an M50 rework rather than an 85X, just because it was a single cab, a single pilot seat rather than a dual cab.
Well, I'm just curious, right? This is probably the easiest way to do it. Open Hangar Link. We chuck in and what's this 100i? That might be the way. 100i.
125.
Right. You are not looking at a lot of space.
No.
But wonder.
And the wings that you see out the side certainly don't look like M50 wings. They'd look like more 100i or possibly an 85X. So the exterior you see fits in with more 100i 85X, but it's not. Yeah.
Hey, connection. Thank fuck. Right. We got those two, and then was it this one? All right. So the first thing I noticed is these are backward swept wings.
Mm-hmm.
These are forward swept wings.
Yep. And that's what makes you say it's not the M50.
Yeah. So let's have a look at some other RSI ships. So we got 300i. That's
the
backwards,
85X.
and the 85X would be the only other two that I'd check in here. So let's that's got these big ducks on it, but it's also got forward swept. So I think we can rule that one out.
But the bit you'd see from the window is back swept.
Hang on, Algared. Just let me sort this out because I don't agree with what you just said, but I've got to done. So, well, these are backward swept, and at the tips it's backward swept, right? So when you go over here, this is forward swept. So that means
when you look at the
Algared, that means it can't be this and it can't be this. These are out. They're done. They're gone. Unless they're reworks, right? So I'm saying if they're unless they're modified, right? So the wings could be modified, true. I'll give you that. But this is also a two-seater, so I think that's out.
Yep.
So I think this is out regardless. So
because it's a two-seater.
Yeah, and I think it's got to come down to these three. Personally.
And if it's got an interior, it has to be at least 100i size because that's the smallest you got with the interior.
Well, I wonder how much you can move the engines around, and that's what I was trying to look at here. Is like how far back does this go? And that looks fairly lengthy to me. Like there's literally a roll of carpet.
Yep. And you look at the 100i, that back section's the length of the bed.
If it's an M50, it's an extended M50.
And if you're extending an M50, then why not just do a 100 or extend the 100 and make it, you know?
And again, I look at the cockpits, and it looks a lot more like this one than this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to bring it here so and over. I'm thinking it could be something completely new. I think that's about as far as we can go with it. I don't think we can really go much further. Yes, again, if you did modify the M50 or modify the 85X, you could have wings go the other direction.
But
did the M50 wings fold out, or are they always out? I can't remember.
Originally, they folded up. I don't know if they still fold up, but they used to fold up to take up less space in a carrier. So
I'm getting random people adding me and sending me messages, and I got no idea. So I'm in streamer mode, so I can't even see what your name is. Could be a kit bash between the two. Yeah, absolutely. I think regardless, it's a small Origin ship or smallish Origin ship, and it's clearly done for onboarding for Origin. They haven't done any ships for the new people in a while, Origin, so that's probably what it's for. So they can go back and do the 600i rework and things like that. But you can't just set a new person to go do a 600i rework, as an example, because they don't know how to make Origin ships. So they've got to make one to know how to make them. So, you know.
Yeah, and you look at those, like that's an 85X and the M50, they're kind of the same class because they're kind of experimental models originally. Then you've got the 100 and the 300. And they're all, you know, four or five of the 100 and 4 or 5 of the 300. So you've got 10 ships from Origin already in that bracket. And yes, it's nice to have another ship, but man, another class down that size seems like overkill.
Well, could you literally just make it something like the 25A? Kind of could, couldn't you?
Yeah.
To wait and see. Yeah, I get the fit. My brain,
Yep.
right, is going to something like it's just a one-off, didn't really need to exist ship, just so they could do some onboarding. That's kind of where my brain's at right now. Like, like I'm getting some old feels of some of these 4 ships, but like it
doesn't fit either. It
just
doesn't fit any of them.
Yeah, unless it is the generalist, right, where it's like a 300i variant with a fabricator on it, or a 100i variant with a fabricator, or yeah.
200i with fabricator, right?
Yeah, or whatever. You get where I'm going, right? So yeah, it's again, it's like the subject of today's show. Just enough rope to hang yourself. Like,
yep.
Anything you
they like giving us enough rope to hang ourselves.
Yeah, we'd just be guessing. All right, next.
Like we've got the same stuff you got, both 4 images and the cockpit view, and that's pretty much all we can go on. And I can't see them. I can't see them doing a whole brand new string of variants, but I could see them doing a one-off.
Where are we up to? Next question. Swift Werewolf says, so the Odin, does it make sense for anyone to really buy one if CIG support gives you the chance? I think it is an org level ship. I think it's an org level ship. I think if you're an org person, you'd want to talk to your org. If you are looking into that space station gameplay, because those bigger ships are clearly going to be designed for fighting not just each other, but space stations. Are you into org warfare? That's who really the ship is tailored at. And I would argue the Javelin is probably the same.
Yeah, the Javelin. And the Idris is that. Now, the Idris, the Javelin, the Kraken, dare I say, even the Endeavour, when it eventually comes, and the Odin are all org level ships. You're not supposed to be taking those out solo.
But even then, Algared, I would say it's a much bigger org. Like it's the. But the Javelin back in the day was meant to have 83 people on it, right? So hell knows how much a
minimum crew of 40.
Yeah,
per Jav. I can't see this ship the Odin needing less crew than a Jav. It is the next level up for orgs. It is an org ship.
Yeah.
If you think it's not an org ship, your head's cut.
And does that double? Like what? And how many we're going to need for a Bengal? Things like that. So
yeah,
you kind of run it all through. We'll find out when we it'll say crew requirements and stuff. I'm sure on the sale page or whatever like that. Make sure if you get access, Algared, take pictures of everything. If not yet, a video. Because that stuff might not be public, and we might want it for prosperity.
Hennypen says, I hope the server counts go into the thousands. Look, servers hopefully will go into the thousands in terms of what they can cope with. But the room system and the way they're doing the server meshing, that is going to be, they'll just, if you're in a Jav, your Jav might be a server, but externally it's in another room.
It's definitely a renewal of confidence that they believe they can pull this stuff off. The fact that they're selling a bigger ship like this, because there was some period there when we were going through dynamic server meshing and static server meshing, stuff like that. People were curious what this number was going to be. Was it even possible? And they must now be confident enough. Yeah, we can pull this off. So go ahead and sell this big ass ship. So that's a good sign in my book.
Yep. Bowler says, I think Chris said something about wanting to push for 2,000 this year.
I do remember something along those lines as well.
Yeah. Yep. And do I think that's beyond the realm of possibility? No. I think that what they've done, and it's like if you told me 5 years ago or 10 years ago would be at 750 people on a server when we were sitting at 30, I'd have said, "No, your head's cut."
Oh, it was really funny. Like back when we got the steel, you know, and there was only a maximum of 50 player on the server, and the whole ship held 28 people. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, so, and it really did seem that was built for theatres of war as a spawn ship.
Agreed.
At the time, but you know, things change for the better. So, next question. Swift Werewolf says, so the Odin. Oh, you've just done that one, and the answer is logically no. Doesn't make any sense for anyone to buy it if I get.
Make sure you got friends, lots and lots of friends.
Algared
will be taking submissions for friends at the end of the show. Just to
Yeah,
validate his purchase of it.
Look, I
you get a
would
free
be
red shirt
looking
though. At the you post you a shirt.
No,
that's
NPC.
Red.
I keep telling you the NPCs are the red shirts.
NPC.
The NPCs are the red shirts.
Yeah, you can be my friend, but you're an NPC. But yeah, I value so much that I'm not gonna non-talkable character. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk to you.
No, the NPCs are the red shirts, and the players are the bridge crew and the.
Yeah, Agred's gonna call you. Agred's gonna call you a TKC, totally killable character. Oh dear. Right.
He's rude. Yep, NPCs are meat shields. That's right. Yeah. But see, I took the idea.
And you just called them all NPCs.
No.
This is not how to make friends, Agred. Be nice to people, you know, and then they'll want to be your crewmate. If you tell them you just want to use them as meat shields, they're not going to play with you.
I don't need them to be.
Oh, you don't need them? Oh, wow. Don't even need you anymore. Wow, this is just getting worse and worse. Trying to recruit people to be on your crew, and now you don't need them. Well, to talk about a bitch slap. Jesus. Well, kids today, man. Today. Anyway.
That's right. When you work with children, see what you get.
All right. What's the next question?
All right. The next question was, but I'll go back to that question. Does it make sense to have one? No. Does it make sense if you've got lots of stuff to melt one to get one? Probably. Probably. Would I say
you've got 3 javelins, so if you can melt 2 of them off, it probably does make sense.
I've got several javelins and Idrises and other big ships, so yes. And the idea was always to melt some of those off if something bigger came along.
But it was 3. Now he's saying 7.
Several. I said several.
Oh, okay.
Several bigger ships.
7 means 7. Ships. But anyway. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Nova has a question. Is that cockpit only, or is that a bed back there? We thought it was a bed. Going back to the origin.
You're talking about the origin, you reckon? Right. Well, again, it's
talking about that origin sneak peek.
Well,
and
look,
yes, we thought it was a bed.
Look, I'll be honest with you. If you have a question and you put it in context, it makes it a lot easier for me now to know what the hell you're talking about. Because there's several that. Because my first thought went to the Pitbull.
He does say origin sneak peek. He has done that.
He did say origin. Okay. Yeah. Apologies.
He did say origin.
I didn't hear that part. Where did we put it? Over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I originally thought it was a door, but when X went through, it's either a bed or a shelf or something like that.
Yep.
So
again, we have been told there's a generalist coming, so making another generalist by origin would make sense because of tech levels. Wait and see. Wait and see.
Yep.
Right. Next one, now, good.
The Lone Star says Drake, Misk, Aegis, Anvil all have a new offering in the form of a new ship variant or concept. Assuming Origin ship is for DEF CON, what might we get from Crusader Tumbril Day?
Yeah, I've thought about this because if you do look at the open it now, where the hell is it?
The map thing, yep.
Yeah, I did say this. Just give me a minute. I got to go back to where is it? This one, then this one, and it should open. I got to bring you guys across. Technically speaking, if there is a ship on Origin Day, the only day we're not getting something is Crusader Tumbril. and I can't think of diddly shit. The only thing I can think of is and this would be a huge case of hopium, is that the year of the beam weapons. Remember that? And we didn't really get any beam weapons. So could we get an Ares beam variant? Hey, Algared, your lips are moving, but no sound is coming out. Oh, that would be why, because I went to a different sound channel like an idiot. Right, sorry, Algared. I clicked on the channel and changed channel. Sorry, Algared, you were saying when I was like, Algared, it's so rude. You've muted yourself. No, you didn't mute yourself. I changed channel. So
you also need to reshare your stream.
Yeah, that would probably be it as well. So you, my bad. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So long story short, I was saying, other than Crusader Tumbrel, there is something else on every other day at this point. If in fact the Origin ship is coming, there's something for every other day. So what would be coming from Crusader Tumbrel? Now, could it be a vehicle variant? Could it be a Crusader ship variant? And as I suggested, it was the year of beams was apparently last year. We didn't get any beam weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So were they all delayed to this year?
Yeah, could we, as Nomadic Max says, are we getting Ares weapon packs?
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I said when I was in the other channel.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, look, it makes sense. Could we get a ground vehicle for assault? Yeah, we could get something like that.
Bomb variant, blah blah blah, whatever. But
would we get nothing?
Well, I'm surprised we haven't got the grey, MFC or whatever it's called, the Grey Cat Fab, but that is technically on Mist Day too. So, look, the other thing I kept coming back to, Algared, right, is I've had two people from CIG a couple of weeks ago say we are going to be busier than we are usually. Well, I'm going to be honest, I look at the schedule. That's not really that busy.
That schedule says we're not busy.
We're only getting 6 days of sales.
So,
and I can take every second day off. That's brilliant. But are you telling me that there's more than one thing each day? And when I look at it, let's just take Drake. Ironclad and Pitbull. Origin, well, we got one ship for Origin. Misk, Starlight. It just goes back to singular days after. But is there more things hidden in there? Like, are we getting the Auxiliaria as well as the Odin?
Yeah. You know, and are there going to be things that pop up from the UE going back to Sol? Are there, you know, who knows? There's lots we don't know this year because there's not following the usual routine.
Yeah. We're in the world of Drake now, where the points are made up and they just don't matter. So yeah. There were lines of code found for the Stingray, that is correct, but we have nothing on the map that shows a Stingray. And if there's a new ship and they do one haul and they don't rotate them like they have the last couple of years, then you would assume where the Kruger is. The one of those two, I believe one was the Merlin and one was it's both variants of the
one
Wolf.
was the Wolf and one was the Alpha.
Yeah. So you'd assume one of those would be the Stingray. But if you can actually read on the map, they both say Wolf and Alpha Wolf, so they're labeled appropriately. So I can't see them being the Stingray at this point. I think the Stingray's kicked down the road a bit. And
I'd hope I kind of hope that's the case, because I hope the Stingray has an interior. I hope it's not just another fighter. I really do hope it's more Armadillo's, transport.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful of a few surprises. But like realistically speaking, almost every AIE and Invictus we've gone into in the last few years, there hasn't been a lot. Or there's been one or two little things like, what does that ship do? Like, the size of it and stuff like that and the look of it, but you don't know what it does functionally. I'm trying to think about what it was. It was one of the AIE last year, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It was just a tiny little ship, and when it came out, it was just like, it didn't really do anything. And I'm trying to remember what it was. For the life of me, I can't remember. But I think a lot of people are going to be really excited to get their hands on the Ironclad.
Yep.
I'm
as Grim says, we know for 6 ships, and that's not including the Odin.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know, so that is a lot of ships, but
well, again, that implies 1 per day, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does. And yet on some days we know we've got seem to have 2.
Well, again, it would make sense if there's 6 unknown ships, 1 per day.
Yeah, we will find out more on let's see what's the date on May.
Yeah, May 14th in the upper.
May 14th.
All right, next question, Mr.
Next question is from Jock Cop. Jock Cop 4205 says, "Have you guys seen any new images of a Kraken from a jump point?" Yes, we have.
Yes.
The Maka, I see Maka says, the real question, of course, is, will it punch above its weight? Every single Drake does punches above its weight.
Yeah. I think it's changed a little bit with some of the stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, and going back to that, I think a lot of the Drake's talk and the old talking points have gone down to Grey's Market, and Drake is becoming more respectable and mainstream.
Drake's becoming a bit more no frills, finger in every pie.
As H. Jager says in YouTube, is Grey's Market not present at DefenseCon?
No, they are. They're in the same room as the Origin and Kruger. They've got the shivers there on the floor. It's actually central in the room. It's the main ship in that room, and then the 2 Origin ships on one side and Kruger on the other.
Yep. That would have been nice if they weren't. If Drake had given them the same treatment.
Yeah, that everyone else gives them. That'd be kind of funny.
It would have been humorous, but yeah.
Right, next question, Algared, if you want to.
Okay, the next question is from Solomon, 3007. He says, "Will the Idris get a new weapons kit, or is it possible that they will solve a railgun with the new insurance system?"
Will the Idris get a new weapons kit?
Yep. And will they solve a railgun?
I think they've kind of already sold a lot of Idrises. I don't think they really need to do any more. I think the next set of kits we're probably going to get is going to be the Kraken, if any.
Kraken or Javelin type
next
kits
year.
will come.
You know, I know Grim wants to see kits for some other ships like the Hammerhead and stuff like that. No, I wouldn't rule them out, but I think we would have seen them already. And so the only other ship I can see that's going to get a kit at the moment would probably be the Kraken. While they're working on the Kraken, they roll out, because again, it's fresh money. So this is a reconstructed map of the show floor, and I just want to show you this real quick. So this is a lot of this is guesstimation, specifically the ones that have got question marks on them. And so this might be the new Origin ship. You know, these 2 both look like the Kruger ones, and Grey Market ship in that one, and the Pitbull down here. And if you go over here, you've got the Starlight up the top, and the Tiburon over here. So yeah, that kind of shows.
And when you look at the original picture that's taken from where the Grey's Market ship is, if that's not saying Grey's Market, then I don't know what it is. It's probably one of the clearest parts on that blurry image that you see.
I think it's this one here is probably the clearest one of it. But yeah, me and Algared went over this with a fine-tooth comb, and as did Grim. And I'm sure we're not the only ones that have done so, but yeah, you can actually make out. There's an AI enhanced one that someone's done, and you can make out a lot of the stuff more clearly. But yeah, you can almost even at this distance, you can see the where the Kruger one is. You can see L21, and you can see L22, so you can kind of tell that they're the Kruger ones. So
yeah, so. Admiral Kasangi says, hoping the ship over Area 18 is actually the Kraken, even if it's just the exterior, like when the Idris on the floor 18 years ago.
There was
my understanding it's
a holographic Odin is what I've heard. Outside holographic Odin.
And he does go and say better than a damn hologram. So if it's a hologram of the Odin, that would be pretty good.
Yeah. No, the Pitbull is not Grey's Market. The Pitbull is Drake. But
yep.
Look, again, Agra's talking on the top of me and you're missing things. Hang on. So just let me show you again. So there's different parts of the hall. This is where the Drake Pitbull is. It's in the very center of the room on the left-hand side. And it's because of this map and this map here where it says Pitbull that then you cross-reference it with this image here from the trailer where the people are cheering, and you can see the ironclad assault in the background. You can see the mule off to that side. You can see the ship on this side. So therefore, this ship on this side has to be the Pitbull. But again, it's connecting dots. Something that me and Algared do a lot, and we're not the only people that do it. But that essentially is what you see there is connecting dots, and that tells you that this has to be the Pitbull.
Yeah.
Drake,
and we also know it's on the Drake stand. It is a Drake ship.
Yep.
And it does look like Grey's Market have one ship in the display, and that's on the
ship
in the center with Kruger and Origin on either side.
It's kind of funny. It is kind of funny.
Bizarre.
Well, the other thing is,
I think that's Drake having a go at
hang on, before we go a little further, they are actually named, and I can't find the exact one because there's one where it's a little wider and it's been graphically enhanced.
Yep.
And that was the one I was trying to find, but
that was the one that was Pilot's Choice or something like that.
Yeah, so, it's Pilot C. Yeah, it's CH, right? So this one here says steady support, new standards. Pretty sure this one says Pilot's Choice, but I can't find the original one that I sent to you, Algared. I've just lost it.
Yeah, and it just had the first two letters of that last word, so we're doing a bit of guesswork. Grim's in chat saying Pilot's Choice as well.
Yeah, so we're on a similar dubstep.
We've all done the same type of thinking there, but yeah.
I think I found it. Hang on. Open with Firefox. This may or may not be it. Let me see. It is not it. Not the AI enhanced one, but you can kind of
Pilot's Choice. Yeah, and you can see it's choice.
Yeah, and then this one.
And then the bottom one can't see what that is.
Yeah, I haven't quite. But there is one similar in size to this that's AI enhanced, but I can't remember where I saved it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so that's the flaw, and if they're not changing it, well. But yes, would it be nice to see for Kraken like they did years ago at the Hurston show with the Idris? Yeah, would be great. Would it be nice having it sitting above Area 18 as just a thing you could see?
I found it.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know whoever did this, but they didn't do the whole image. They just did part of it. It's kind of weird. Why wouldn't you move it more over to the right? But whoever AI enhanced it just didn't do it properly. It is what it is.
Did what they wanted. They got the information they were up. Not
yeah, they probably only wanted certain ships, not all of them. Anyway, but yeah, you can even make up if Algared points up there, you can see the two origins there. But it looks like an M50 something or a 125A or whatever. Yeah,
and I go off,
and then you can see in the middle there, Grey's Market Shiv, Kruger Alpha Wolf L22, and Kruger Wolf L21. So you can kind of see them.
And it's rather humorous that Grey's Market's in the middle of the two luxury ships on either side. So, but yeah, next question. I don't think they'll sell packs of the Idris, and the railgun is a military pack, so I'd expect you'd have to build up your military rep to get that, and eventually you will be able to. Mr. 6952 says, do you think maybe the sneak peek is a generalist? Anything's possible.
Yeah, we did talk about that earlier. We went over that a few times. So yeah.
Yep. D-Man, what's the odds of Squadron 42 drop date and JAV release at DefenseCon? It would be prime for those who melt JAV for own, then buy it back for 500 more.
Well, tough one.
I certainly think with the Odin where people will be doing the melting of javelins. I have a feeling that if you melt a javelin, it will not be it'll become greyed out.
Well,
like a lot of things have become.
Yeah, the Javelin being spawned in game, I've had a few people ask whether it could be coming from Invictus. It's entirely possible. But I also think for some reason they want to kind of save it until after Squadron comes out, just for story reasons.
I think it was a leftover testing something, and because everything I hear is that it was still not complete. The interior was not.
It feels like it was a bug. Like, well, just say there was a new version. It was an old version. So unless it's somehow bugged out and grabbed the old model and the new one's hidden or whatever. But it also has been 12 months since the Idris. So that may have given them enough time to do what they needed for the Javelin to get it ready. And let's be honest, that we honestly thought this game was coming out 2 years ago. So the fact that it's kind of been delayed another 2 years, that I think a lot of the goalposts have moved a bit. Look, if it comes out, I won't be surprised. But if it doesn't come out, I won't be surprised either. You know, happy accident, whatever you want to call it. I want us to say. It's not a ship I'm super interested in because I've seen it all the way along. Like it's kind of, for a new person, and I'm sure it's exciting.
But take any.
For me, it's grown old because I've seen it for the last decade, on and off.
You take any new person onto a big ship, and you fly them around the verse at present, and it blows their mind.
Can you imagine trying to organize a Javelin versus Javelin fight? Like how hard that would be to pull off right now? Yeah. Like, you know, the number of people that server crash, server error, jump, whatever, like just even getting in for 5 minutes to have like 40 versus 40 would be pretty hard to pull off. Let alone getting 40 people on one Discord and 40 on another. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. It'd be cool if you could pull it off, but it'd be very hard.
I would hear, and I'm pretty certain you would hear click comms, click comms, click comms all the time.
Yep.
Because people want to talk when they're in a game and in a party. So Atlas Transport is talking about the new ship again.
Yeah, look, honestly, I think Titan suits are coming, but I think they've just been pushed so far back that we're not going to see them for a while. It's like a priority thing. And what was that one I was talking about earlier? Suit lockers. So there was a post on Reddit this morning while I was waiting for Algared, and someone said, I can't believe CIG can't see sense, even though they've got like 300 updooterinos on this post. And it says, why aren't they bringing out suit lockers to go with the new flight suits? And I'm like, well, it's clearly obvious. They're two completely different gameplay teams. And that said, though, now that they've got been able to save loadouts for ships, there's a save loadout tech. So now they've got it for ships. Probably not that far away, which is why they feel comfortable doing the suits, because then maybe in 4.9 or 4.10 we might get suit lockers, right? So it's understanding that there are different teams for different things, and I've never understood why people can't get that really basic concept. But then by the same token, me and Algared have to keep reminding ourselves there's always new people coming into the game, and that's where the questions come from. So
careful, you're sounding a lot like Disco there. It's everyone's first rodeo. Where are you from? Look,
if my permission,
and for old people, it gets frustrating.
If I start doing that,
for old people, it does get frustrating. But the number of new people who keep joining the game is
and there are, like, even on the leaks, there's new racing suits coming in from Mirai and stuff like that. So, you know, you're always going to start out with one or two suits, and then they're going to add more and more. So you're going to always see it's a slow rollout. To just turn around and say, we need suit lockers. No, you don't, because it's only for, was it 3 or 4 suits for this patch? Come on. They don't even really do anything right now. So I would have to say, let's say there's 50. I don't know how many other suits there are, right? Do you know how many off the top of your head? Would you say, let's say there's 50. Where do you reckon the numbered amount would be? I'd say it'd have to be halfway, wouldn't you? That you want the lockers to go in, because it gives them a reason, the kind of valid reason. And let's be honest, it's not a priority order, because you can just use the inventory to.
Yep.
It's got a fix. It's got a workaround. It's just not a priority order. So again, not being able to visualize that and think it through logically just really frustrates me.
Oh, I'd love to have. Look, I'd love to have clothing lockers so I could actually shrink the inventory in the.
Yeah, well, it's better for you when you get into the booth algorithm. You don't have to do your Superman, go from poor man Hurston to old man Hurston. You know, you can just walk up and switch straight into your Hugh Hefner outfit instantly, and no one would know. No one.
That's right. Yep, it's typical cut horse type.
Absolutely
stuff.
right. That's it.
You know, and it's asking. Sometimes it's asking the wrong question. Sometimes it's just not getting there. Question: what is the difference between? I'm going to take Boss Veteran's question here. What is the difference between flight suits and racing suits? And I think it depends on where you're racing or what you're doing. So a flight suit would, I imagine, give you better protection against cold and atmosphere or space. Racing suits are going to give you more G-force protection from.
I would even go as far as say there'd be differences between two different racing suits. You know, one for one thing and one for another. You know,
one for racing in atmosphere and one for racing in space. So we're going to have different needs because of
even different G-forces. Maybe one's really good at blackouts, one's really good at redouts. You know, like whatever.
Yep. And so it's going to be that type of thing. But your guess is as good as mine. It'll be how CIG decide to use their flight suits and racing suits to balance a game.
I think the closest I could point people to was that clothing panel at the Manchester Citizen Con. That would be the closest ballpark type of video I'd recommend, wouldn't you? I go back to that Citizen Con panel on clothing. I can't remember what they're called though, but anyone that watched it will know what I'm talking about. Next one, Algared, when you're ready.
Right, next question. Wolf UY7PX says, I just think that new ship's a drone, but nope, not a drone. Yep. Subtle Citizen, here's a question for you. Thoughts on the Bulldog being a Titan suit dropship? Big things on small packages.
I'm not going to say anything no to anything because we can't see enough of the ship.
Yep.
But
we're just going to say enough rope to hang yourself. Yep. Could be, possibly.
A Titan suit transport automatic. Look, if they drop Titan suits and we get like 6 Titan suits, that'll be amazing. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be amazing, but that would be sick.
And that would be what would fall on Tumbril Day.
Well, yeah, one on every day. If there's 2 ships per day, that'd be amazing, you know. But
there's nothing on Tumbril at the on that Tumbril Day at the moment. So you put Titan suits there. Yeah, I could see that. But
I want a Crusader Titan suit with like a big shield. You know, like an actual Crusader.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. US Army 31. Do you think if you were selected for the Odin Founders Club, do you think you have to use new money to buy the ship, or do you think you can use war bond and credit? I hope you can use credit.
Algared, do you think I should put in for the Odin Founders Club, but just not buy an Odin? As in, I want to be in the club, but I don't want to own an Odin. Do you reckon they'd let me in?
Probably not.
Oh, then I can get them on discrimination. I'm poor, so they discriminate me for being poor. They're pretty woke.
Well,
that'll get them, and then they'll have to give me an Odin for free. Oh yeah, I like this plan. Yeah, let's do that.
But I hope that it's a ship you can use credit for.
Yeah, well, that's another question someone asked, and I know Grim asked that himself, because if you can't use credit, he's out.
Yeah, well, ditto.
And I think they need to let people buy it for credit. The main reason being all the people that brought javelins. This will be the biggest ship you're able to buy. Well, that's no longer the case.
Well, for people who've supported the game and bought ships to support the game and to support development, I think it's part of that process. If you've got multiple ships and you want to, what do you do with the ships you don't need? Well, you melt them. What do you buy with them? Because you've got everything. Well, so I'd hope.
Look,
but I'll have to wait and see.
I think for me, the Odin's a ship that I don't obviously I'd love to be on one, but I don't think I need to own one. It's so much going on. Like, it's going to be a behemoth.
Yep.
And the position that you and I are in, Algared, we go around to different orgs all the time and talk to people. So I'm sure we'll see one eventually.
I'll be honest. I've put in for it.
Well, you got 2 javelins.
I'll try and get one.
Well, you got 2 javelins you could melt off. If you've got 3 javelins, then you could melt 2 off. Right? Yeah, you like to support the game, but I would also think you'd rather have versatility in ships.
Yeah. But if I'm looking at the Odin, if I had a choice, if I had to make a choice, Odin or a Pegasus, I'd probably go Pegasus.
Well, I don't think you're gonna say, I think the Pegasus is dead, man, from everything I've heard.
Yep.
So.
But if that was the thing, I'm looking. I'm talking about what I would.
If we could just sit here and choose what we want, I want a retribution, and no one else can have one. Then that's fine.
Well,
yeah. This is my boom stick.
Yeah. Need a massive proof of that.
Oh man,
10 people to use the main gun.
I'll just take a Starkiller base. Why not?
Yeah, just fly it straight into the.
Yeah. Oh no, it just means I can take out any. You're on Hurston. Bye bye Hurston. Just take the whole planet out.
Yeah, just fly into the planet. Yeah. Anyway, Gore-Tex Fog says, any thoughts on if the Ironclad could outclass the Merchantman in terms of commodity trading with the internal cargo hold?
Sorry, I was reading a question.
Possibly. Depends on.
No, I don't think it can. I still think the Banner Merchantman is one of the coolest ships in the game because the whole platform comes down and you can kind of load it from all sides. The only thing is the logistics of the cargo containers from top to bottom. But again, if you know where you're going, you just put all the cargo from top to bottom as it's being taken out.
And you just take it out in order.
So, and it tends to be bigger boxes, so it's going to be pretty easy to load. I think the Banner is going to be one of the better ships in the game for loading and unloading. The Ironclad has half the amount of cargo. I'm off the top of my head, I could be wrong, but
which would probably mean that you're not going to outclass the Merchantman, and then you add the other stuff that the Merchantman can do, like shops and other stuff. So, but if you're just doing single load stuff, commodity trading, then possibly. But again, I don't see it.
So the Ironclad,
you consider
the Ironclad is 2,204 SCU. Oh no, actually they're really close. 2,880. Okay, now I see where the question comes from.
Maybe then, but
maybe.
Based on it, just commodity trading, I'm gonna say yes. Based on that.
What about all the shops?
But not commodity trading.
But the Banner.
They're talking the mass transport of cargo, like iron ore or doing that.
Yeah, but that's like going. Your ship's got all these shops on it. I'm just not going to count them.
Yeah, but
it's like going, your best feature. I'm not going to count that just so you can say it's better. No, you can't do that. It's got all these shops on it. That does give it an advantage.
If you're just looking at what one is better at commodity trading, probably the Ironclad.
Well,
but when you look at the
but it's going to cost more to move the Banner Merchantman because it's also got all those shops, but it also carries more cargo. That's not a fair question. I'm sorry, it's not fair.
But when you look at what the Merchantman does, you say, well, yeah, the Merchantman can do that, plus it can do this as well.
I can fly to an outpost and I can just sell stuff to NPCs or anyone that's there where a shop doesn't exist. So if you're looking at selling stuff, right, what do you classify as commodity? Do you mean they're just flying between places and selling, or do you mean selling period?
Yeah, they're just doing delivery runs.
I can sell my stuff quicker than you if I grab it in a remote outpost. I can sell it quicker than you because you're going to travel all the way back to Whoop Whoop. I can sell it right there.
Yep, look, I'm not arguing that the Merchantman is not awesome.
That I'm arguing.
I'm just trying to look at the.
Yeah, and they're trying to pigeonhole the question.
Yep.
And I will not put up with that bullshit. That's like trying to pigeonhole into a response that they want. I think they both can be good, but they do different things.
Yep, they're different roles.
Right. That's basically what Famaka said. Sure, doing bounties in an F7A is better than a banner merchantman. Who cares? Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Like, it's almost like this person wants to justify the purchase of an ironclad. If you don't like an ironclad, upgrade it to a banner merchantman. The banner merchantman costs more than the ironclad. Let's be honest, it should be better. It's just that simple.
And it will do more.
That's simple. That's simple. If you like the ironclad, like the ironclad.
And
next one, Algared.
You know, if you're looking for justification for your purchase, then maybe, consider your purchase.
No. Okay. All right. So now someone's saying you just told people not to ask questions about the role they cared about. No, that is not what I said. I said do not pigeonhole me into giving you responses you want to hear, because the way the question was worded was, can you not tell me the ironclad's better than the banner merchantman? And the way it was worded was to go, well, yeah, of course it's better at commodities trading because this is twice the size and it's got only a little bit more cargo, but it's also got to carry 10 shops around with it. That's disingenuous.
Yep.
So if you're going to pigeonhole me to an answer, I'm going to tell you why I'm giving that answer. I'm going to fully detail and explain it out. I'm not going to just tell you what you want to hear. It's almost like gaslighting. No. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. You know, I'm criticizing your question, and I should, because it was a slightly unfair question. Anyway.
All right, European hardware enjoyer says, do you reckon both ironclads will get the interior defense turret for the main cargo space?
That's a really good question. I thought one had it, but not the other.
I thought one had it and one didn't. I wouldn't mind them both getting it.
Yeah. I would hope Algared is the best dressed, because if it was the best undressed, it would not be him. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm better undressed than he is. So it goes. You can only have one or the other. You know both. Anyway.
All right. That's an insult. Yes, it is. That was it. Is the bot working? Yes, it is. Hook, Odin or Endeavor first?
Gameplay needs.
I think gameplay needs, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Odin first because it's just combat. That would be my guess.
I think it'll be more combat adjacent, so the gameplay requirements will be less. Like, just say, for example, they added drones or they add whatever. The Endeavor just has so much more gameplay required. So, I agree with you.
Gundam 288 says, do you think we will see the Reclaimer rework this year? It'd be nice. Really nice to see Reclaimer rework.
Anything we've got pointing towards that at all is a gold pass or the head-to-head. They've also done a Moth. They've also done... Potentially, we've got a Raelian variant coming that could do it as well.
They have pretty much fleshed out.
I'm seeing a less and less of a need for it at the moment.
Yeah, they've fleshed out the salvage gameplay loop fairly well. And like I said earlier, I've been using them off. And it is just as easy to use them off as it is. In fact, slightly easier to use them off than it is to use Reclaimer. Because I can use it one person, I can get into hangars and access the freight elevator. But I still enjoy taking the Reclaimer more than anything, just because I can be out longer and not have to keep going back. But it means when I get back, I'm just being a lot more time unloading. But that says to me, because they've got so much gameplay loops in, they probably don't need to fast track it at the moment. So,
yeah.
But would I like it? Yes. Hudson Hawk. What's a realistic deadline for the release of Consolidated Outland Pioneer? Around 1.5 to 2 years, or closer to 2.5 years?
When base building comes, and clearly base building's been pushed out a bit now. You know, I'd like to say end of the year, but a lot of delays can happen in there. You got Squadron in there. You know, crafting was clearly planned for where the Clipper came out last year, and look at where we are now. You know, we just kind of we got that in the last patch, and what's that? 4 or 5 months?
Almost a year.
No. How delayed was that from AIE?
Yeah.
I'd say 5 months. 5 months. So 6 months would be next month. So yeah, 5 months.
Yep.
So
yep.
It's a bit of a delay. So carry that on. If they wanted base building by the end of this year, that means we're probably not going to get base building until this time next year.
Yep. Yeah. And it's just looking at what they were planning and what they were hoping for. So
yeah. And we do know the Forge was paused, and that had similar things to the Pioneer on it. So I have to assume the Pioneer got paused as well. And the poor little Starlancer build, holy shit, she's been sitting in the wings waiting for a bit. Yep. And the Clipper can't fabricate anything yet. It's not functional. So, as Roll 13 said in chat. But yeah, he's correct. I've tested it. It doesn't work.
Justin Wright did send you a message in Discord.
I saw it.
Talking about the supply.
We've moved past it though.
First time chat. Crab McCaw says, I haven't followed for a long time. Just had some time to play, but I can't find Squadron 42. I think they released it 2 years ago.
No, they're going to release it sometime this year, mate. So you haven't missed it. It's just not quite out yet.
But Squadron 42 is not out yet. It's coming.
Yep.
They did remove game packages from the shop.
We're hoping
and they'll come back soon.
We're hoping for an announcement soon. Yeah, just keep your ears to the ground and don't be embarrassed. It's totally fine, man. Project moves like a glacier with a tortoise on it, walking backwards with a snail on it, with a tick on it.
And that's going forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even make it small. And Adam.
But that's game development. At times it'll go glacial, and other times it'll go super fast. So don't worry. Stargrunt Jim at Bozo has a question. They want to know: did any of us sign up for the Odin, and why? Yes, I did sign up for the Odin.
I can answer the why. Pokemon syndrome. Pokemon syndrome.
Yep.
That's why he needs to take recruits to man all these ships. He doesn't have enough friends.
Yep. And the reasoning I gave is I've backed the game, I bought ships to support the game, but I don't really need X number of Javelins and Idris and blah.
Join the AFC, the Algared fan club, where you are a highly totally killable character. Become a TKC today. Killable character.
Jump Jim. There you go. Stargrump Jim. There you go.
Yeah, it's Grimm's alter ego.
Oh, I didn't say Stargrump Jim. I said Starjump Jim. Grim. Now you got me confused myself. You curse you, citizen ninja.
Oh yeah, he's good job.
Okay. Nova 42 says, do you think we'll see standalone command modules? So we can get one to try and find used cat and ironclad hulls in the PU.
I think you'll definitely find ones in the PU and stuff like that. But my hope is they really are designed for the ironclad and the cat. And the way that we've kind of moved to a more universal one, rather than two separate ones, makes me think that they really are designed for their craft. They're not really designed to be standalone. Yeah, could be wrong. And they might do it in the future, but yeah.
Would I like to be wrong? Yeah, I would like to see standalone command modules as standalone ships that could link up to the Drake ships and take control. Do we need it? No. Would it damage the game if they weren't? No. So, yeah, I'm ambivalent to that, whether it comes or not.
Right.
So, yeah.
Dimboy says, do you think they will add more weapon kits in this Adventurous Lore weeks, like the Perseus, the Polaris, and other ships?
could be, whether I do it in very soon, but they could, in terms of the leak stuff that we did find that was talking about weapon sizes of ships, but it did only go up to weapon size up to weapon 7 or size 7.
Algared's talking about different ammo types for size guns 1 through to 7 is what he's talking about.
So
which was
could maybe hinted it, but
technically that was meant to come with the Perseus, but obviously it got delayed. So it just shows how many things have been thrown out by like 5 to 6 months. All these things have got kicked down the road. A lot of them got kicked down the road by, as I said, up to 6 months, 5-6 months.
And I kind of think if you've got different ammo kits or different ammo types, then do you actually really need weapon kits for them? So I could see a variety. You know, you put armor piercing rounds on your Gatling guns, and all of a sudden you're doing twice as much damage to the armor as you were before.
Grim did point out that we saw a different weapon kit. I believe there was a Wicklow Meteor that had different guns. And so he's suggesting that there could be a weapon kit for the Meteor. Absolutely. If they want to do that that way, yep, absolutely. But I tend to think that it tends to be more on ships that have bespoke stuff. So they go from bespoke to bespoke. The Perseus is a little different because it just changes the ammo type. So what were the other ships he mentioned? He mentioned the Perseus. The Idris has already got a whole bunch.
And other ships.
Yeah, and it's annoying to go back and unwrap those ships to add textures to them and stuff like that. And other ships, the other ships would be the Meteor.
Now, you will remember, and I'm sure any old player will remember, back in the day, if you had ballistic weapons, you actually had ammo cases, which you could take off and you had to reattach them and rearm yourself. So if you had ammo, different types of ammo, you could actually, and they bring those cases back, you could actually swap the ammo types on your fighters or other things, but then
I'd still like that to be a thing personally, but again, I won't say. I think it's they can do whatever they want when it comes to that stuff, and it's really hard to detect. It's like you've essentially asked us what is the likelihood, and they weren't very well received. Right, there was a bit of a backlash, so they've kind of go, ooh, you know, But they had also done kits on bigger ships, so I think for me, kits seem to be safer for them to release on the bigger ships. Anything else, just put them in game.
Put them in game, let people use them, and
be an advantage. You know, like the Meteor one, just put them in game, having an advantage of it. Give the people a reason to buy a Meteor. Don't go, here's this Meteor that costs $245. By the way, give me another $40 and I'll give you some guns. Like, piss off. Just give it to them. It's already an expensive ship. Just give it to them.
Buy it available in game, we'll give it to them,
all that, yep. Give them a reason to jump through some hoops for their Meteor to get some more guns. Yeah, absolutely. Project Gnome, question. Do you think we are going to get base building by the end of this year? I can't figure out what based on the December patch is going to be. How good?
I would like to hope we'd get base building of some form, because it's something they've been pushing for. We're getting the fabrication and crafting, and I think that's the first step. Once we get base building, they'll bring in we'll see the build ships coming. But
it's just there's clearly a set priority. I've always assumed refining had to be in there between hand, right? But there's also things that came out of that Q&A from the other week that apparently refining doesn't do jack shit. So, and apparently they got no plans for it either, which makes it rather, you know how you and I talked about quality level?
Yep, apparently.
It's got nothing to do with it. What's made up? Don't matter. It seems like a complete oversight to me, or they just never planned for it. So does that mean tier 0 is literally A converts to B and they're going to come back and do it? But they also said they got no plans for it, which blew my mind.
I still wonder whether we've got no plans to do it. Does that mean we've got no plans to ever do it, or no plans to do it because we haven't it's so far down the track. It's not something we're thinking about. So
yeah, but base building has always felt like it was really far away. But we also had people tell us at Manchester Citizen Con it's not that far away, which is obviously now bullshit because we're 2 years away. But
when you look at the plans, best laid plans are always what you assume, and then you look at game development, and it's always 2 steps forward and 5 steps back.
Yeah, but as you plan out and lay out these things, base building's probably expanded.
Yeah,
yeah,
just like the game.
And so you remember from going to prototype, polishing, gameplay testing, going through all those grey box, white boxes, and all that type of stuff. Make sure the gameplay works. Things are going to change. They're going to expand and shrink, and so maybe some things don't work out along the way. I guarantee they already have some form of base stations working at CIG. Now, what level is that? Probably just giant grey boxes. Who knows, right? But again, if they've determined that, well, if we just make this part of base building with the outposts, it's going to make this part here a bit harder or whatever, they've probably gone, well, let's do it all in one. So what if, say for example, I'll put it this way, Algared. Say we got base building at the end of the year, but it was just buildings. Would you rather have that, or would you rather wait another year and also get space stations, where if I gave you base building at the end of here, you'd have to wait 2 years to get space stations? See my point?
Yep.
Is it give them more time to cook and you get more sooner, or do you,
or do you
drip feed
get
it out
and then have to wait longer?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's a hard question. Like the pluses for both. If I'm drip feeding and I'm getting that that life support supply, if I get it in one hit, then I get the overdose. So,
and I always look at it, what's better for the game. I can see space stations and base building being a massive draw card to people, but by the same token, if you've got to come back, like it's such a foundational tech, by putting once you've got those two things in place, you can put every piece of gameplay on top of it. And I think that's probably what's delayed it. The space station sounds like that's what's delayed it to me. But
and just that putting in the all the bits and pieces on top. You've got to go back and reinvent it because new tech comes along. Even though you're planning this new tech, you put the gut stuff in, and then you've got to go back and retrofit it. Yeah, you want to avoid that. And I could see CIG taking their time on it. Yes, we've got about 10 minutes left.
Yes, Algared can see what I was going to. Yeah, 361 giveaways for this Atlas. Oh, there's just so many. It's just a bloody Atlas. Anyway, right. 10 minutes and 45 seconds. So I think we'll just sit here while we talk. Yep, get in.
If you have not yet gone to our Discord, gone to our giveaway channel, and hit that entry offer.
You will be messaged though on Discord. It will shoot you a message and say, please contact Execute. But yeah, at least I won't have to verify who they are. I haven't told you yet, but I'll tell you after. But I got a way I verify people. So I get them to drop me a message. So I message them and say, drop this message to me on YouTube.
Yes.
And you'll see some. Yeah, look, I might even be able to show the one from last week. Hang on. This is how I do it. And I if it actually is still up here from last week. There you go. Tomato, walnut, $5.90. I just picked 3 random objects at random, like knife, spoon, phone, or something like that. And they're just 3 completely random things. Hey, but it works because no one's going to put. Now, the only reason I was hesitant to say it because now I'm going to go in there and people are just going to go, ooh, what would Execute think? 3 random objects. All these random combinations of.
Hudson Hawk makes a very good point. And you'll remember this.
Yep.
Over the years, CIG have done a couple of posts. The very first one I can recall them doing was, what type of gameplay do people want?
Yep.
And 60% of the people said...
75% said exploration.
Yeah, which is why we got the not the Kraken, the
Carrick.
right? Which could basically do everything and go up for a long time.
I could see
the second time they did a
I
big
can see
poll.
how you could fuck those two up. Kraken. Yeah, I can see. I can see it. Sorry.
Yep. Now, the second big poll that CIG did was asking, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to just put the game out, just get it done? Or do you want us to make the absolute dream game? And I can remember everyone on chat, it was almost universal. It was make the game and make it good. Take as long as you want. We'll be here for the long haul. And everyone said that. It was not a 50-50 split. It was like everyone was, take your time, do it right. But now so many people forget that. CIG is not taking their time because they're bastards. CIG are actually doing what we told them to do. They actually asked the backers, what you want us to do? Do you want us to get the game out now in a year or two, or do you want us to take our time and get everything done right? And we all said, do it right.
So, Pirelli53 is asking how to enter the giveaway. Go on the Discord, Inforunners Discord, and go to the giveaways channel and just click the enter giveaway button, and you'll be in. Everyone's done. So just jump on the Discord, and I can get that off to someone at the end. Got to do that. Bowler's reached out to us. All right, Grim. Wait, Grim's messaging me. What's he want, Grim?
Now, Crab and Craw, people may not have thought they were in for such a long wait. I don't even think CIG thought it would take so long. But when I signed up, I didn't know how long it would take, but I knew it was going to take a long time. And I can remember seeing games launch, given dealer sneak peeks at Gamescom. And 10 years later, I saw them. They were finally being developed. This is no different, really. All right, maybe everyone except you, Helen, but I knew the development of Squadron and
another way to put it, Algared, is real simple.
Would take forever.
Algared, it's real simple. Grand Theft Auto 6. How long have we been hearing about that for?
Yep.
I think we're up to 12 years of development or something stupid like that. So big games take time. It's that simple.
Yep. And that's even when games have a massive company already behind them. And you've got stuff you can draw on. The CIG basically started from 7 people in a garage. And they didn't really start doing game development until after 2014. And
as Captain Warhar points out there, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is already up to 2 billion. So people sit here and complain about Star Citizen. It's got nothing on GTA. It's twice the cost. And we're doing 2 games. They're doing 1.
Yeah. And they actually had Grand Theft Auto.
I'd argue this is bigger.
Yep. And they've got, the previous Grand Theft Auto stuff to draw on. They've got previous code and assets that they can draw on. CIG, one of the reasons I think they went with CryEngine to start with was that it gave them a starting point. And I remember Chris saying we had a choice. We could have created from scratch and just built up, or we could start with a head start. And he went, we'll go with the head start. 6 of one, half a dozen of the ants. There was no right or wrong in terms of the approach you took. Do we get our game out and then add stuff back in like they're doing on Elite Dangerous, or do we make sure we've got our groundwork set and then build on top of our groundwork? CIG took the latter approach, and it's taken a long time, and sometimes things broke and they've got to redo it. Elite Dangerous took the former approach. I personally think that Star Citizen currently is a better game than Elite Dangerous. That's my personal opinion.
Let me show you this. This is what Grim sent me. This is the new gun on the new Meteor. When he gets to it, but you can see it's kind of got like 3 barrels and it's a laser or some shit. But play it again. But it's just a different gun on the Meteor, basically. Nothing too special, but
custom gun. A bespoke gun bottle got stuck on the Meteor.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
4 minutes left on the giveaway. See if we can get to 400. We need another, what's that? 23 entries in 4 minutes. I don't know. Maybe we can, maybe we can't.
Yep.
I'll grab it.
Gundam says one live game, one game with at least one expansion pack. I think that CIG said 2. Due to Squadron 42 mission disc. Quite a lot to do with a $1 billion budget. Yeah.
Yep. And again, 2 games, not 1.
Yeah. And we know that at least we know there's a disc for second disc, and we know there's a third, 3 parts. So
Mega Tiger Ninja says, am I alone in being skeptical that GTA will be any good? I think the stories have always kind of been interesting in GTA. Like, I've played a lot of the GTAs, but I am kind of a bit over the formula. If you really look back at, say, the last couple of them, other than graphics and tech, it's the same. It hasn't really innovated enough for me. Like, at least Vice City went back to the 70s or whatever, but this one looks like it's pretty much exactly the same time period, but it's in Florida instead of LA. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little bit, and I didn't really get into Grand Theft Auto 5, to be honest with you. I played it, I brought it and I played it, and then I went back a couple of years later to play it again. But because of the Rockstar launcher, they'd deleted my saves, so I had to start the whole campaign again. And then that happened a third time because I got bored of playing it. And then I just went, no, I just don't want to play anymore, because every time I've got to play it or I want to get back around to playing it, you've deleted my save files. What is the point of this? I'm paying you to provide a service and you can't even hold on to my save files? What bullshit is this? Steam does that. Why can't you? So I just... And it's just not appealing to me because I've seen the same formula. It's just pretty graphics. It's lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, look, I've never really liked GTA. It's just never been my cup of tea. So I've never bothered. I found it boring. I hated the idea of driving around the city, stealing stuff and doing stuff. To me, the whole game just didn't work.
But we know it's going to be appealing to a lot of people. Don't get us wrong.
It's going to appeal to a lot of people.
There's a reason why Call of Duty comes out every year, and it's basically a clone of the year before. But by the same token, if a good game comes out and it's different, give it enough time, it's not going to take over, but it's definitely going to grow. And you don't see... I just sit here and think, like, the last big story-driven sci-fi game, and I'm going back to, like, Titanfall and Half-Life. There's just not a lot of them.
No.
Single player. There's just not.
Yep.
Just a fact.
No, the games that really kicked off, yeah.
All right, well, we've
probably
got
the
about...
best game that came out recently is 35 seconds.
Yep. So we've got 30 seconds to go on this. So good luck to everyone. This will just automatically do it. I don't have to really do anything. It'll just pop up and say who won. I'll quickly even have it open. Yeah. So this is what you're winning.
Yeah.
ATLS, lifetime insurance, touch digital download, 2 skins of the Year of the Rat, and a lantern display. All right. Good luck to everyone. Oh shit! I lost it. Where did it go? Oh no! Oh, there it is. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and the winner is...
And drum roll.
Heaven Sent
Engineer.
Heaven
Sent Engineer.
I think it's a play on Heaven Sent Engineer. Are they in chat?
Yep, a Heaven Sent Engineer.
Are you in chat, sir?
If Heaven Sent Engineer is in chat, they have won.
All right, Heaven Sent Engineer. Heaven, let us know you're here, man. Reach out to me via Discord, and we will get that sent off to you ASAP.
Indeed. All right.
Again, thanks to CIG for that one. Right, Algared, you're saying.
Arion says, where do you see the super heavy and power armor concepts going in the future? Does Star Citizen need a mech? Or does the powered armor plan for the game fill the void?
Chris Roberts is really not a big fan of robots. He's also not a big fan of mechs, but there are a lot of people within CIG that are. Sean Tracy, for example, he worked on a mod for what is the name of that game, Algared? Mech Warrior. And there are other people within CIG. I do think eventually some of that stuff's going to come in. There's no reason not to have a finger in every pie. So I would think eventually, yeah, maybe some, even if it's just like locked to one planet, you could do that. You know, there's no reason you can't think of every game mode, you know, extraction shooters, King of the Hill. There's no reason you couldn't have those scenarios in one-off locations, you know. So there's some scenario like it's a prison planet, and if you crash land there, you can only get out in certain parts of it. So it's like an extraction shooter. You've got to go in, gather the shit so you can get out, you know. Or maybe there's really rare minerals there, but it's giant Velokar sandworms that are like Dune, and so you've got to go in and get all the spice, so to speak, and get out. And I'm giving you the Dune reference, so you understand what I'm talking about.
Or it's just the bad weather, so you can't fly ships. So you've only got one area you can go in, but the stuff you need is.
Regardless of what it is, you can make up a scenario, right?
Yeah.
To make that gameplay work. So that just leads into all these different scenarios that they can have as missions and quests. So I think eventually over time you'll see all these different little gameplay scenarios creep in. And we've seen things like that with that Citizen Con that year with the Connie, where the Connie couldn't fly in, so they had to land and then take the Ursa out, you know. So we've got precedents for it.
Yep, indeed. Bowler. Any predictions on when we'll see Bounty Hunting 2.0? It looked very promising before I stopped production to focus on Pyro.
It's scanning. There's a lot held up behind scanning, and scanning's probably after base building. If you kind of look at the order of it, it's refining, because you're going to be able to take what you take out of the game, either mined or salvaged. It has to then be refined, so then you can craft with it or base build with it. So that's why crafting came before base building. You need the need for a thing to exist. Well, we've got crafting, so now we need refining. Once we have refining, they're going to come back and do base building. And then once you've got base building, that gives you can put all the other gameplays on top. Well, what is the most pinnacle part of gameplay? Well, it's scanning, because it leads into so many other gameplays. So you get scanning, and then after that, it gets a bit grey. You can kind of take your pick after that. But scanning is huge, and bounty hunting is essentially scanning and combat. Basically all it is. And not only that, it really kicks us off to the races of this game, because now the pirates can find you. So if Algared's carrying all these Uwu girls around, something of value, and I'm in my pirate ship, I can scan it and find you. Now all of a sudden, Algared now has the need for actual escorts, where up until this point he's not needed any. So there's that core gameplay cycle of the game, and we're off to the races. That's all locked behind scanning.
Yep, pretty much everything.
We did highlight a message, but I think we'll leave that to last, because it'll come up anyway. Or do you want to read it now, Algared? Is it bugging you? Is it bugging you?
No, you can do a highlighted message. No, it's not. I just accidentally closed down a window, so I had to read it.
All right. Hudson Hawk says, during the April preview, when the Hull B video came out, they showed zombie-like creatures in the style of The Last of Us. At the end, it seemed to me like they might already have finished the model. Do you think it is any realistic that we could get content like that? Yes, it is. Well, I'm not going to go through everything. P.S. Raptor was once on an April Fool's joke, and now it has become a reality. And I think the whole B will become the Raptor is literally the cleaning vehicles that go around Manchester. We saw them while we were there.
And we went, oh look!
And technically, you will need a street sweeper. If you've seen any of the scenes in Squadron, they show Vega and stuff like that. So putting a cleaner in that just goes around and cleans stuff, or even have a mission where you can drive a Raptor and that's your job as a janitor, is to clean the street. Really see that as a valid gameplay. But the B, that's just made up bullshit. The way it all flapped and all that was all bullshit. As for The Last of Us or the zombies, when they concepted the Reclaimer, they talked about alien viruses and alien zombies and a whole bunch of stuff like that as a part of the exploration of the interior of other ships. like clearing them out. But yes, it's been mentioned before.
Yep. And the zombie type growth out of the helmet, that was taken. That's a movie. That's an in-game movie prop. Sorry, a copy of an in-game movie prop. So it's
actually there was new models in there as well, Algared, in the trailer.
Yep.
But yes, yes, point still valid.
But yeah, and we do in law there is a virus or a disease that does impact people and make them go kind of a bit crazy, like they're a zombioid. But where CIG will take it is wherever they want. Whether it's just a disease or an event where we have to do something. I'm pretty certain it was Chris has talked about, that the World of Warcraft virus.
Yep.
The bug in the game. But it created.
It wasn't a bug in the game. It was actually done in coordination with the World Health Organization as a test.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
But it certainly spread this disease, this thing that killed everyone.
Oh, it didn't kill you. It just you could affect other people with it, and all they wanted to see was how quickly a contagion can spread, and they dropped it to one person in and like essentially Horde City and one person in an Alliance City, and it just spread from one person, and all they wanted to see was how quickly something could spread, and because it was characters in a game, they moved like real people, so it just showed you how quickly a virus could spread.
You got infected. Yep.
Yeah, and it allowed them some real world data or simulated data.
But either way, I remember Chris talk. I think it was Chris talking and said, "I love that. It'd be great to see that type of stuff."
100% will be a thing. Some massive contagious outbreak, and you got to lock down the planet. There'll be combat people trying not to let people out. There'll be health people trying to heal everyone. There'll be scientists there trying to work out how to freaking cure you.
Yep. Yep. And you can just see all those game loops. It's not. It's oh, you got to solve this problem.
President Chris Roberts, we have a dire emergency. Mr. Hurston has contacted Squareheaditis. He's no longer an egg. It's we can't call him Humpty Dumpty anymore. He's called Mr. Cube. We need help.
SC Timbrel is a question. SC Timbrel says the battle cruiser is a stretch goal ship. But what about the other stretch goal ship, the Pegasus?
Pegasus is dead.
It's died a couple of times.
Long live the Odin.
So yeah. But I do know there was not only the battle cruiser, but a cruiser and other stuff. So, and I don't think a lot of the things in the stretch goals, very few of them were player owned. They were liable. So,
Algared, what are you going to call your Odin? There's only one name that I can think of that would be suitable. You want to know what it is? The All-Father. Duh.
Yeah, I can see that. Although that'll be taken by so many people, it'll be the All-Father 5. The All-Father 50, because there's so many other All-Fathers, but yes. Avoid Blight says favorite ship or concept that is not the Endeavour or Crucible, and why it is the Liberator. Well, the Liberator is not my favorite ship. It's never been my favorite ship. It's a shipping ship, so it's not that. Favorite ship that's not the Endeavour or Crucible.
I don't think there's a lot of ships left in concept now. I'd have to go with Kraken.
Yeah, I think I'm probably Jav. I like the Jav.
Not so much in concept anymore, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
No, but it's still kind of there. But and if you go in concept, then I'm going to go okay. It's a Kraken because I can't pick the Endeavour or the Crucible. So
I don't think if there's any others out there. Well, it's probably
not that we're talking about.
Might even be the battle cruiser for you. Come
Pioneer.
Weeks. Yeah, Pioneer's pretty good. Pioneer's a pretty good one. I'll give you that one.
Although my question is, why would you want a Pioneer? Because you only need one, not 50 million in an org.
It looks good. It's still a good looking ship though. Marty Stelson 559 says, with the example of the gold standard Hammerhead coming with and a variant, the Tiburon, what other ship rework would you like to see compared with accompanied with a variant? A ship that you would like to have a variant of, Algared.
Starfarer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Starfarer with Fury drop pods instead of fuel pods.
You'll probably see the same thing with the Reclaimer, the Caterpillar, Bonnie, MSR. A lot of ones I can check in there. Arik.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot there, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm expecting to see a shit ton of variants coming down the pipe. With just like it's just a very easy way for them to make a lot of money.
Yeah, I think we see more variants in smaller ships and modules in the bigger ships. But that's where my mind goes. And yet you got the Aurora with modules. So
yeah, it's not always the way, and sometimes though they're not variants, not modular. They're a variant that could be modular. Do you know what I mean? So it's the different gameplay terms and stuff like that requirements. Always the cut.
First time chatter, Thud Tweet says, I want to see passenger service and cargo still. Yep. Well, cargo's in. Passenger service will come.
Yeah, passenger service need AI for, so you'll be waiting a little bit on that one.
Yep.
Army 31.
I did, by the way, I did like Mytho Service, Mytho Soren's name of the Odin. Hurston Uwu Delivery, Girls Express. Sorry.
Yeah, I did see that. US Army 31 says, question, do you think the Odin will have option for both Warbond and credit if you're accepted into the Founders Club? We answered this one before.
We did answer that one.
We are hopeful for both. Ethereal Grey says, question, did anyone bring up the Pitbull possibly being the assault vehicle for the Ironclad? Yes, they did, but it can't be a vehicle because it has legs. And there's the picture in the background. I will
but they do advance and I say like an AT-ST. So
again, it would have big fat ass feet. If it is this top, top heavy, it would that doesn't matter because as soon as you have bigger feet, you've got bigger legs, right? But it can't stand on these little chicken. Oh God, I keep pointing in the wrong direction. It can't stand on these little chicken legs. It just can't.
And it looks like it's only got one at the front, so that'd make walking very difficult for it.
Yeah, it would. It would have like, almost as big as a 10 type of thing. Yeah. Well, no, even if it's a mech with 2, right? That still have to be fairly big to balance this round bulkiness that it's got.
Yes, because otherwise it's
just say it's literally a round drum-shaped ship, because that's what you're implying based on the width of it here, right? So it has to have the bit on the other side, so it'd almost be like a run. Well, then you need 2 feet fairly spaced apart that can walk like this. That ain't that. That's tiny little peg leg.
Nope.
So logically, it just doesn't pan out.
No, I agree. It doesn't work as a ground vehicle.
Yeah.
Even if it was an AT-ST, I'd expect
it's a ship. We just don't know what. And there's a lot of cool little things people have thrown out today. Again, look at gameplay coming down the pipe, or gameplay that we already have. I think the top big ones that I heard was, we know there's refining, refueling. You can do a border transporter, something that works with the Ironclad Assault, or something that works with the Ironclad. I think they're all the kind of top ones for me. But yeah, again, we don't have enough details because we clearly can't. Like, if this was the other way around, Algared, and you could see the back of it and not the front, I think we could work out what the fuck it does, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why we can't see the back of it.
Yes, that's why. And let's be honest, I think they've been giving us less and less of each sneak peek as the years have gone on, because we've been able to work it out. So,
let's work out this.
We're not looking at this guy's fine physique. We're looking at this ship above me. So this was out of the trailer during the week Hook 2005. And if you connect a few dots, they had a map that was in a video before, and it showed Drake Pitbull in this position. So therefore, based on this position of where this is in the hall, this has to be the Drake Pitbull. It's a new ship. I hope that covers the dots for you. Trying to figure out what it is. Yep. We've got no fucking clue. We can only limit it to the new gameplay that's coming out. So, or a pre-existing gameplay. But, you know, knowing that this patch is predominantly about refueling and we're at a combat-y like sail, you know, it was three or four things. We'll see.
Void Blight.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Thoughts on the Void Blight says, thoughts on the Ares and Eclipse in the new modern combat ship section with the Tiberian. Will we be getting planned grenade guns? Will we be getting plasma grenade guns or missiles?
Just because they're in the hall, it doesn't mean shit. They could just be there because they're combat ships.
Also, the Ares and the Eclipse were new ships. So the Eclipse was a new version of a ship instead of the Retaliator. The Ares was a new big sniper, big gun for taking out capital ships. They're new ships.
Yep.
So when you're looking at the new standard, they fit into that new standard. They're not the old Retaliator. That's where I think they've gone. So
the Ironclad Assault's going to be a weird one too, because like, look at the M2 and stuff like that. Like, instead of taking 2 large vehicles, you can take 6. But by the same token, are you seeing a lot of ground fighting in game at the moment? It's almost like it was set up to line up with base building, but base building hadn't landed yet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It would have been perfect if base building was where it should be, but it's not.
Yep.
So yeah. So I think the Ironclad Assault's going to land a bit flat. And the Ironclad will be where it's at because you can still do all the cargo running and stuff with that. And I guess you can do it a little bit with the Assault as well, but
yep.
And having the Fabricator in, well, everyone's going to have a Fabricator in 4.8 because of the fab machine. So
yep.
It's a bit flat for me.
Right.
Anyway.
A quick question for you from EKG Nomad. Is the cat going up in price?
We have no evidence to the contrary on that either way.
Yep.
And I would say no, because it's a part of its originally planned functionality.
Yep.
And it's already gone up twice, hasn't it, Algared? From memory? Is it once or twice?
Yeah, probably. Twice. That'll do. Yep. No more price increase. The Eve Inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree that the command module is silly as a concept as an escape pod? I think so, because I think so because it will be the first thing that gets blown up. It's flimsy.
Technically, it's under the shields of the ship, so not really. And the other thing is, if they shoot at it instead of shooting at the ship, yes, you can't escape, but the ship probably won't break, so you're not going to die anyway. So isn't it kind of a bit of redundancy? So
yep.
I don't have a problem with that, personally.
Nope. Gronum 288. Thoughts on maybe us seeing an Argo refueler? Would love to see an Argo refueler.
I don't think we've got anything pointing to Argo. I think the Starlight's the refueler. Look, I think that's not even in question when it says go fill her up, the sneak peek line. Like, it's not even a contention. So that's a refueler.
Yep. We know that based on that line, we know there's one refueler, or we're saying there's one refueler. Whether the pitballs are a refueler or something else, who knows? Could be anything. Ruga Blood Moon says, is Origin a new ship, or might it just be a G12?
Can't tell. It's not a G12, it's a ship. We have the preview from today. I can bring that back up. We've looked at it before. Where did I move it to?
It's definitely a ship based on the sneak peeks today.
Yeah, there it is.
And
here it is. Yeah.
And the tagline for that is, if looks can kill.
Yep. So it's some kind of Origin combat ship. I think we can safely do that.
Yep.
Could be a rework, could be a variant of another ship. I lean towards variant. I know you do as well. Just because it allows them to onboard people into Origin, which they haven't done yet. Almost would have thought we sort of would have seen an Origin ship before now for onboarding, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Would have hoped. But yeah.
Anyway.
SC Malabar. Do you feel we will be able to CC you to the Tiberium from a Hammerhead? Do you expect the Hammerhead to go up in price with its gold standard pass?
Hammerhead already feels too expensive for me as a ship. I would hope that they make it more expensive than Tiburon, but the past they've gone usually the other way, where the better ship is cheaper because they don't want people upgrading into it. They don't want people to do that. So my brain goes $700 because the Hammerhead is $725.
Yep, they want you to. Not, yeah.
So what if you've got a Hammerhead? Maybe upgrade that into something else, and something below that upgrade into it. So just move everything all up. You know, you might have to grab 2 or 3 ships, and just upgrade them, a couple of them. You know, it'd still work out cheaper than buying a whole Tiburon. And again, my expectation, like we did the Hopium edition, right? Like what we could be. My expectation is seriously just 2 size 6s that are some form of laser beams. The Hammerhead. So a ship that kind of punches up instead of punches down. Enough said. Yep.
Nova 42 says onboarding for Origin? Question mark. 600i rework when? If we get a rework, what do you think? Do you think the price will go up?
Oh, simply, do you want to chuck a bunch of people that have never worked on an Origin ship onto your precious 600i? Or do you want them to work on something smaller to learn, so they can then they can go work on their 600i?
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. They're doing he's saying, okay, they're doing onboarding for Origin Pass. So does that mean we're getting a 600i rework soon?
Eventually.
Eventually.
There's not a need. There is not a need for a 600i rework right now because it's already in the game. Why would you put a whole bunch of people onto, put it this way, and I'll make it really simple for you, right? I won't even make it another ship. I'll make it another Origin ship. Would you like a 700i or a 600i rework? And I guarantee if you polled the community, it would be a 700i. And that's the whole point.
Why? And that's CIG's point as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's CIG's point too. Why rework one that's kind of in-game right now and it doesn't really have the functionality because you need AI to pull it off, when you could then go make a whole nother ship? And let's be honest, Origin are missing all their commercial ships, so you'll probably see Origin shop ships around about the same time you're going to see a 600i rework, because then you can see them bring in and say a 700i, and they make assets for it, they make assets for the 600i, blah, 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 blah. You can see where this is going. So until you see them working on new Origin ships, and by the way, this is the start of that, so you should be really happy. It probably means your 600i is years away, maybe.
But getting people making new ships and building up their skill set on the library.
Yep.
And my 600i is not called precious.
Yeah, and they do need more variants for the 600i. I 100% agree. Technically speaking, they should have been called the 615p and the whatever. But again, some ships are leading into modules, and some ships are leading into variants. And Algared will tell you, when a ship was designated with an I, it's meant to mean it's a modular ship. But
and
300i didn't do that. It went variants.
Yep. Well, 300i kind of did do that, but they did it as their variants. But yeah,
instead of modular. But
so the I was the variants of a ship. So you got the 315, the 335, the 325. So you got all the different ones. But yeah.
But realistically, I want to see new medium ships from Origin first, but I'd also expect to see a 400i variant at some point before you get up to the 600i. They'll kind of work their way up, and we saw that with heaps of ships. If you look at what even the onboarders, they all started out with a fighter. Then we heard about. I remember there was a guy we heard about. Oh, I just worked on the Asgard. So they kind of went from small to medium, and then all right, now I'm working on the Perseus, right? So they, as they got better and they used to the styles, they'll put them on bigger and bigger ships. So it'd be the same thing. So if you're working on the Origin, and it's this tiny little fighter thing, which is what we're kind of seeing in the photo, what would you expect next, Algared? The medium or a large? 400i is a medium technically. You know what I mean? Right. So
and we've speculated 400i variants coming. And it's the same type of thought process. You build up your library with those ships, and the 400i is a really good one to look at because that's the most modern Origin ship to date.
What did I call my 600i when I had one temporarily? Do you remember?
Nope.
Sounds like the Flying Pig, or When Pigs Fly, or something like that. I had a really, really cool insulting name. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Something like that, anyway. The Buttered Pig or something like that. I don't know. I had something like that. Really, really funny name. Take the piss.
I think mine is just called something like Party Boat or something like that.
Yeah.
I Party.
Yeah. I Party. Yeah, that's actually not a bad name. I Party. Anyway, Ace Noble. Do you gentlemen believe that Squadron 42 might come bundled with starter ships or light fighters? There were some rumors that flew around that there were some concierge packages with other ships and stuff. Again, not too long to wait. I do have a feeling it is a great place to announce Squadron. He's only a few months away. If you look at, there was a game just yesterday, I'm trying to remember the name of it, Blood of the Dawnwalker. That's by ex-devs from Witcher 3, so CD Projekt Red. And they're doing, imagine Witcher, but it's a vampire, right? And that game's coming out in September 26th. Exactly 5 months. Now add a month to that, we get it to Invictus. Exactly 5 months. CitizenCon, you see where I'm going, right? So it's a nice window of time to build up the hype to the release of Squadron. And I've always thought that, but they do it sooner. Who knows? I just got the feeling we're going to find something out of Invictus. I don't know if you're in the same boat, Algared. Are you living?
No, I think you're right. I think we'll find something out as they move towards that.
All right. Next one in ready, mate.
Ruger Blood Moon, since 200 series was mentioned at one time in the 300 details as a predecessor, does it necessarily have to be smaller?
That's
one of the things you said.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, it doesn't. We just assume that just because we're human and we're stupid.
Yep.
And 2005.
And it is a really good way to misdirect people, isn't it? Make them make them naturally assume something and completely go the other way.
2005 says, question, CIG says Odin will be double the interior of a Javelin.
Volume.
That's it.
Double the volume. Yep.
How long, how high, how wide would you think it'll be? Yeah.
This long, this high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as big as they need it. It could be short and
what is the design? What does the design detail look like? Look at a Carrack. A Carrack is kind of fat and long.
Is it a Dorito, which means it's super wide?
Did they decide to go weird and make it really wide but really short? Like what?
Yep.
Who knows? Do they make it a giant flying ring? Like an O? It's not an Odin. It's an Odin.
Oh.
Does it fly like a giant donut just at your face? It's got a huge ring in it. And that's the part of the weapon. Like it's like a Death Star, and it like shoots all the beams in and then shoots the beam out or something. Who knows? Until we see it, we've got no way to tell. But I'd have to assume it's within the theme of Anvil.
Next question from Hook was, did I write CIG to join the Founders Club? Of course.
I think I have to now, just so I can. I have to have proof of the court case.
After getting multiple, and I do say multiple people saying, "Oh, you need to check this out. You need to check this out," while I'm at work, and then trying to check it on the Apple phone, and it not working.
Yeah, and I'm like, your phone is shit. That's what I said. You guys said the link's not working. I go, your phone is shit.
So I had to
Android.
So when I finally got a break, I actually did a loop around and went to the website and checked out the things, and so yes. But yes, I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bastion. A death donut, not a death sphere, but a death donut. Yes. Bastion says,
What did they say? You just said they say, and then you stopped talking.
Yeah, it's because my screen's frozen. So,
for things as large as the Merchantman, Jav, and Odin, do you expect them to have cosmetic interior modules, let's see, besides liveries, or that be store based? They've talked about having interchangeable skins in the past, but again, it looks like they're leaning towards a future of customization. So yeah, they'll probably be sold in the store. My hope is that they sell patterns but don't sell colors. So you can earn the colors in game, and if you want different patterns, then you buy them on the store.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You want to read the next one, or is your screen still frozen?
My screen is just solving a screen problem now.
Yeah. Hook 2005 said, could the Odin be Warborn only? And we kind of answered this already, but yes, it could be Warborn only. But
which would be really sad.
Yeah, for a lot of people. Teoiston 4847 says, in the past, Invictus blue and gold paints came back each time. Do you think because this year is not Invictus, we might get those and perhaps get some special Drake paints? That's a really cool idea. I like that a lot. Yes.
Yeah, you like that.
Let's hope
red and black
so.
Paints, yeah.
Yeah, red and black paints. Bring it on. Or at least grey or camo or something like that. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll be in for that. Actually, wasn't there some in the files? Grim was talking about a Xeno skin that was camo with yellow tips. Now that sounds like really Drake to me.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. But yeah, they've done skins. I can't see why they wouldn't do some Drake ones. It would be a chance to change up that theme of blue and gold, that's for sure. Or even if they could go, you know, those black and gold ones they did for some of the Drake ships, we'll just expand that out to all of them. Yeah. Axon Fluke says, not a ship, but do you expect the push-pull EVA soon? Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the push-pull EVA. And that would lean into...
Maybe that's what you need to look for.
Push-pull EVA. But yeah, I was trying to find it because they had the walking along the surfaces, and I was wondering if the Pitbull could be a really cheap boarding ship as one of the possible alternatives.
We remember the push-pull EVA stuff as...
Rubby hands, because we remember originally what it was called.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was really called.
Philip Air Cross 1294 says, could they have named the ship Drake Pitbull after the singers Drake and Pitbull for shits and giggles? I got no idea, but yeah, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, anything possible.
Yep. Ruger Blood Moon says, from Origin sneak peek, it looks like it goes down in the back. Could it be larger than just the cockpit, just lower decks and not visible from... Oh, I didn't even think of that. They tend to be fairly sleek, though. I don't see it.
Well,
do you?
I think the 300i does have a step up. I think the 100i may have a step up as well from memory. But
it does have a step, but this thing, it's still one level.
Yeah. It's one level of a step that raises the pilot seat a little higher. But
you're literally talking like one of those really ugly dolphins, the beluga whales, right? So it'd be this like, you know, sleek at the top, and then it's just got this fat belly or something. Like I don't see that as luxury Origin at all.
That would be more Avenger type arrangement if I did that. But yeah,
that'd be more like someone in a bathtub with a bee sting. Zimbo Boy says, question, do you think we will see Squadron 42 bundled with F8A? Potentially. I think that they're going to have as many little variants and little things as well. I think it'd be great. Like, you leave money on the table. You know, you'll probably see a standard, deluxe, and collectors. You know, $60, $100, $150, something like that. And then there was rumors also of concierge ones as well that were concierge exclusive, which is probably the same thing, but they come with a skin or something like that for the ship that comes with them or something. And again, doing 3 ships just for those versions, just saying. Or a skin or an exclusive F7A or whatever. Question, Odin Steel when? I think it already is a steal. I think it already is a steal.
Never.
Probably $5,000.
But never, because it's not Drake.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Ooh. What would a Drake Odin be, Algared? What would the...
Satan.
Yes! The Drake Satan! Hell yes, I am in for that. I will buy one of those. If they make a Drake Satan, I will buy one. Right. Unseethable thing, and I know Grim would as well. Grim would buy one 100%. Or the Drake Reaper.
Yeah, the Drake Reaper.
I like Satan though. Unseeable Thing says the Kraken jump point has no angles from the hangar side. It is nothing burger, or are they hiding? They're probably hiding something. They do have some little platforms there that weren't there before, and there's also some panels on the landing gear that don't make sense. Like it's got cargo or weapon storage or something. I don't quite understand why they're there. I'll have to go over that with Grim, and we'll do some speculating. H Jaeger says, will the 600i get a fabricator with its rework now that that's a thing? Potentially. Maybe one module does and one module doesn't.
I could see the exploration module getting it.
There you go. Well, the other one's got a bar, so maybe it just gets a mini one in the bar to great food.
Yeah, maybe a mini one for the.
Well, they do have different. They do have different fabricator types, don't they? They do have a food one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Rigsy says, is it time? Is it true CIG has proposed the BMM again after it says going back to development late year AI? I haven't heard anything either way. It's always going to come down to gameplay terms, and if you think about it, shops would be after base building because they need the rooms before they do the ship.
Because it makes it. You said it once, and when you said it, it made absolute perfect sense. Because the room system is just a room system. If you put it on the ground, you can actually test everything in a building, and then you just chuck it into a ship later.
Yep.
But you can test everything in a building.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep. And again, if you can have an outpost where you can make shops, then you can have shops on any ship, and you'll probably see a flood of ships come that year, right? Because again, we've currently got a Kraken at 8. Kraken's at 12, isn't it? 12. And then you've got a banner measurement at 10. That means you could almost do all the way down 8, 6, 4, 2, 1 in sizes. Yep. And then you've got tech levels as well. So you're not just going to want to have a Drake with 1. You're going to want to have an Origin with 1, because a taco truck is going to be very different to a fine dining restaurant or a high-end fashion shop, right? So when you break it down, there's going to be a lot of shop ships from at least 3 or 4 different manufacturers, at least, right? And then do you have an industrial shop? So you have an Argo one or a MISC one, right? You've got different tech levels in there as well. But you're not going to have an industry shop that's technically in Origin. You might have a Drake one, but then where do you have your high tech one? Well, then you need a MISC one. You see where I'm going, right? So you need a couple of different manufacturers to cover all the angles. Anyway, right.
Now, I'm going to say, I'm going to assume the bot's off. If it's not off, it should be off.
I turned it off. Yeah, I turned it off when I realized we had probably an extra 35 minutes of questions.
That's right. So any questions that you have put in, sorry, we're not going to get to them today. They're not being picked up.
I turned it off I turned it off like quarter to 11. Turned it off like 35 minutes ago.
I've seen a whole pile come in from stream, but Twitch, but we're not going to get to them.
Last one came in at 10:46, so that tells you when I turned the bot off. And we've probably got another 15 to 20 to go. Right, undefined, verified, execute. Oh, that seems like a lie. Odo, do we know if Odo? Who's Odo? I think he's called. Is that you, Odo?
No.
Odo, do we know if orgs will get API links to their websites? I think that'll be a part of their social tools. They do have a lot of stuff planned for orgs, and they did talk about it at the Manchester Citizen Con, but until it kind of lands, I think you're going to get a tier 0 and it's going to expand like almost everything else in this game.
Yeah, I can see they want Spectrum to be the kind of thing they use, but it ain't there yet. Lillian.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip that one because that's a statement of question. Yeah, that one we kind of talked about before as well, so I'm going to skip that one. Question: there are currently 2 shop chips. Both of them are capital. Do you think they release a medium size? Yeah, well, we kind of just talked about that, Dom.
We just said that.
So that's just ironic that's where your question came up, but yeah, we did kind of do that one. So yeah, we're expecting a lot more. Walker Beta says, now that repair is making its way into the verse, how far do you think we are from the Crucible? I've owned one for a couple of years now, and it's my dream ship. I think it's still a little bit away. We definitely need drones. Agrid, you'd agree with that? It's the same thing holding up the Vulcan, yeah?
Yes and yes, but you could actually get the Crucible in without drones because it's got so many other things going for it.
Hang on, Agrid.
But if I'm going to start with a...
Hang on, we just had a raid from Loken. Hey, Loken, I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Ooh.
I need your times for Drake DefenseCon. If you're able to make it, man, give me your times in our Inforunners chat. Hope you're well.
Yep.
Regardless,
we would. Yeah, we'd love to see that, and glad to see you.
Likewise.
Pop into chat.
They never pop in. They run. They raid and run every single time.
I know. They raid and run every time.
Yeah.
I know, but I live in hope.
Right.
What was I saying? What were we talking about?
You were talking about the Crucible.
I would hope that they start with a smaller repair ship rather than going the big one and working down. So they could put out the Crucible because you could have it without drones because it does other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather them go a small ship and build up because then my ship is going to be awesome. So, Citizen Ninja, do you think CIG might release paints for the 85X before the ship showdown to prevent it from being another meme vote? Possible.
Well, it's on the cards, man. I think it's got to be on the cards for this year. It's the only ship we know of that doesn't have a skin, and if we didn't do it, Pissball Pete would murder us in our sleep. It's almost worth not doing it just for that.
Just for Pete.
Just for Pete. Unless he's really nice to us. I would like chocolates. What would you like, Agrid, from Pete this year?
Odin.
He actually said he would get an Odin if it does something that he wants it to do. I can't remember what it was that he was saying, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
make me happy."
And I'm like, "How are you going to afford $5,000?" And he goes, "Oh, Shadow buy it for me." And I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like, not after you just because he literally just insulted them. They go, "Oh yeah, Shadow buy it for me." Anyway, so apparently that's how you get things. We're going to be more insulting, Agrid. Now we'll throw money at us. Apparently that's how it works.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't realize that was the case. All right. Hope 2005. What are you hoping the second Gattack ship will be? Well, in our Hopium edition, or was it the Hopium edition?
Yeah, it was Hopium.
We did talk about a refueler.
There is also tags to it possibly being
There's a salvage ship.
Yes, as well. So, and that would put it again, what me and Agri were talking about during the week is because the Raelian's grown, did it grow because the Raelian grew, or did it grow because the salvage variant grew? Much like what happened with the Hermes and the Apollo. Food for thought. Real quick,
is it?
Bo Blight asked in chat, ship showdown is AIE. No, it's not. It's September. August, September. That's late August, September. Agri, next one.
Sejanus 21 says, "What is the best ship of a Crucible or a Crucible?" Man, that's such a hard question. Can't answer that one. I'm just torn.
Okay, I'll open this just because Grim said to, but it's just a text list, Grim. That's boring. So new ship paints. The following ships are getting a black, red camo. How do you do a black, red camo? Anyway. Corsair, Buccaneer, Carrack, Gladiator, Retaliator, Eclipse, Hermes, Meteor, Asgard, L2, L1, and Clipper. And ironically, they are all on the floor. Every single one of them.
They're getting it.
Except the Carrack.
They're getting Drake, splash paint. Yep, okay.
Oh, and maybe the Corsair. I don't think the Corsair's on the floor either, but yeah. Yep, that'll be your skin thing.
Yep. Chosian 4847 says, "Do you think the Stingray may have bespoke weapons that will be interchangeable with the two wolf variants?"
I would like to think that they don't do everything bespoke because that's going to be a bit shitty.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say that it's out of the realm possible. I think it'd feel shitty.
I would hate them to do more bespoke weapons that are built into the ship and can't be changed. But I would love them to do more Kruger weaponry.
Yep.
I'd like to see the badges get ripped off the P72 and be turned to have a Kruger variant of their size 1 guns. But that's just me. The Taziteo says, thoughts on the Mark II Gladiator? No, they just need to do. They just need to give it modularity, and I think, and that's why the Aurora Mark II gave me hope.
The Gladiator still looks really, really good. It doesn't really, everything Algared said. It just needs a modular thing. It doesn't need a mass. It needs a pass, a gold pass. Yeah, it doesn't need a.
Yeah.
You know, and
it needs a gold pass. Doesn't need a Mark II treatment. Just needs updating.
Yeah.
And give it modular treatment. And it was supposed to be a modular ship in terms of lore and everything else. Yep. So, Dom says, what are your thoughts on 25 ship limit per hangar?
A lot of ships.
There's a lot of ships, but I hate it.
25 is what? You need to use 25 at once? What the hell is wrong with you? Right?
Oh, okay. If you're talking about space you can actually have in your hangar, well,
yeah, like 25 around the outside is a lot. They're meant to be in the hangar for a reason, to store them. You're not gonna, like I can't see a need for you to use more than 25 at once. That's crazy.
No,
well, I got 5 would be enough.
If you're talking spawn ships, then fine. If you're talking how many ships can be stored there, no.
Oh, you can have as many as you want stored. He's talking about in your hangar, like physically spawned inside your hangar. Crazy.
Yeah, look, that goes back to the old, the very first hangar days, because they used to be about 15 or 25 ships, and you could actually override it and make it so that the hangar just spawned, and everywhere, and that's why we got the PTV, because people were taking 10-15 minutes to walk down their hangar.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right.
Void Bite says, did they ever confirm smoke grenades and flashbang grenades for FPS? Because I told myself yes with no confirmation. Yeah, they did do that in 2014 not CitizenCon, 2014.
We got a plasma grenade coming this patch.
Yep. But what was the event they did in Sydney? In Melbourne.
PAX.
In 2014.
Yeah, PAX.
PAX. So at 2014 PAX, they did this first-person shooter playthrough, and they had deployable shields and different grenades, and one of them was flashbang, and one of them was an EPM grenade, and one of them was so it had a whole pile of them.
Yeah, I think the plasma one's an area of denial. We've been waiting for over a decade for new grenades to come in, so it's again, I think it's coming along with those different ammo types. So I think we're going to have, even just within combat, by the end of the year, we're going to have a fair bit of variety, which will be good, nice. And
when you look at the grenades, it's even design stuff they put out with the different types of grenades they had back then. So, first time chatter on Twitch. Valkyrian says, PAX 2014 brings back memories. It does indeed.
Yeah, most of them I've forgotten. It's been.
I was a go for helping out.
That's where you and I first met, but we didn't know each other too well back then.
No, it's also where I first met Sandy, which was and it was great. It was a great time. Like if you ever do get a chance to assist CIG at one of their events,
highly recommend.
Make it. Valkyrie. I was thinking it was you, mate. It was Valkyrie was the head gopher. He supplied the Maltesers, which we stood around and ate with Sandy. It was great. It was a really good time. I really enjoyed it.
All right, last question for today. Riddick says, this is for you, Algared. Did you already reorder 3 Anvil Odins?
No.
Well, it's twice the ship, so maybe you got 2.5 or 1.5, I should say.
1.5 it'd be.
Yeah, a couple of spare engines for that thing wouldn't go astray, I think. Yeah. All right. We're going to be raiding Dafty Digit today. He's actually a mod of ours. He was here at the start of the stream, but he's now off doing his own thing. So We're gonna
He
get
got
over there and
bored
rate him.
and went to play a game. So
yeah, so we're gonna rate him. But I would like you to ask him when he's doing another T-shirt for CIG. Because he started to do one with me last year and we both got busy and we just dropped it. So we're gonna get back around to doing it at some point. So yeah, you ask him.
The other question to ask him is why he was so rude and left us to go play his game. How rude!
Channel. Let me get his exact spelling. Oops. I went all black for a second. Hang on.
Oh.
Do I minimize it? Yeah, that's what. Crappy chain rate there today. I don't know if that's his frame rate or my chain rate at this point, but all right, we're ready to go. All right, YouTube, say goodbye to Twitch. Twitch is to YouTube. I can't speak at all after all 3 hours now, or 4 hours. This has been. Have a good week. See you later. And they're off. Have a listen in.
Bad day. Pizza when you're supposed to. Oh, French fry when you're supposed to pizza.
Oh, Dan Ray.
Well,
Hey! Well, I should have known. Damn it! I see my face there.
He's actually watching us watch him. Fuck shit, bro. Fuck shit.
Everyone, if you're not Death Digit, you should be.
Yeah, got you good. He's like I can see my face there.
Yep.
Look at me run.
Got him. Got him.
Bad idea.
Yep. What is this? His poor frame rate.
18 over here. Thank you so much, Inforunners, for the raid. I appreciate it.
Because he's watching us as well as watching the game and streaming.
Yeah.
He's overloading his system.
Clearly. All right, with that then, I don't know what we're going to do this week for a show, Algared. We could have done stuff on the Pitbull, but I don't think there's enough there to do one. Like, it's like, we have the front of the ship. Wow. But yeah, we'll have to think of something to do this week. And
we need to try and think something up. That's true.
we usually do. We do it off the cuff every week. But people always ask us how we do that, but a lot of it is just off the cuff. We sit there and talk.
Sometimes we're just sitting there talking and we go,
yeah. Or I got to walk in, or I'll walk in and go, "All right, I got the show this week. Let's go." You know, so that's how it is every week, off the cuff. We never.
Sometimes it's just
we don't prepare for shit.
Sometimes it's just stuff that's on the news, in the game, stuff that's coming, and other stuff it's just we're sitting there talking and we realize this is a show. We go,
all right, with that then, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and thank you to everyone with the extra mile at the end of the video on Patreon. Really appreciate it, especially with how tight things are at the moment in the world around us. All right, he's been Old Man Hurst himself, Algared.
Execute, and we're out of here. Take care.
See you, citizens.